As we are in game number 1, welcome you guys to the first game of the third set of the day, TaToH versus Mr. Yo. We will take the time to fix this though really quickly, and there we are. Game is paused though, at the very beginning. I'm not really sure if anybody's having any issues, but as soon as I get more information about it, I'm going to let you know. For the time being, we're just going to go and talk about the saves, the map generations, and whatnot. Hey Jerica! Cheers! Cheers to you as well, I hope you're doing alright. For game number 1, we'll enable predictions too, and for the next 5 minutes, you'll be able to predict who wins game number 1. For the first option, we're gonna have TaToH, and then for option number 2, we're gonna have Mr. Yo. There we go. So for 5 minutes, you can predict who you think is going to win using your champ points. Meanwhile, we'll take a look at the civilization, starting with TaToH civ first. Playing with Mongols means that the blue player will get 40% faster working hunters, 30% extra HP on light cavalry, hussar, and step lancer line units, as well as 25% faster attacking cavalry archer units. And for the team bonus, Mongols get 2 extra line of sight on scout line units. Meanwhile, taking a look at Mr. Yo's civilization instead with the Japanese, we'll get for the red player 5, 10, 15, and 20% faster working efficient ships in the Dark-Field Castle and Imperial Ages. As well as a 50% discount on drop-off buildings. We'll get, in addition to that, 33% faster attacking infantry units starting in the Field Age. And before I forget, not only are the efficient ships more efficient, but they also get +2 pierce armor and double the HP. So they are super tanky. For the team bonus, finally, Japanese will have 50% extra line of sight on galley line units, but most likely now we're going to see, for the most part, fire galleys on this map. No matter what they go for fish, that's most likely going to be the case. Regardless, yeah, it doesn't seem like the game's... Okay, there we go. Oh, TaToH was having issues. I think we can take a... Oh, you know what? Let me take a look at this. Do we have ping information for the players? We don't. We don't. We have rank, we have elo, but we do not have ping information, so we can't really know what it's looking like. Although on the website, it is visible. And for TaToH is 104, for Mr. Yo is about 65. So it's about 100 to 65 for TaToH and Mr. Yo. Not a huge difference. At the very least, not hopefully. There we go. Beautiful, deer. Already getting pushed by TaToH. Is gonna be also getting the dock up. However, Mr. Yo already got his dock up, and not only that, he's gotten the first fishing ship out already, so he's ahead by 1 worker. Predictions are still open for about 2 more minutes, so anybody wanting to predict who is going to win game number 1 of the series can do so right now, utilizing your channel points, aka bones. And while we wait for that, and while we wait for the players to go up to the field, let's take a look at the map generation, starting with TaToH, as we're gonna go in order of color. For the blue player over here, we're gonna see that for the blue player, his map generation is going to have a gold on the back. He's got the main gold forward, and then the stones are towards the south, which is fantastic. He's got also the wool line over here, which is very good on the back. Fantastic too. If he gets some walls up from here to here, perhaps something like this, he'll be able to secure this, of course, without too many issues. But the gold and the stone forward, those are still going to be exposed, so these will be the ones that he'll be able to collect from the back. However, Mr. Yo, though, he's going on and taking some of the cows back, and he's gotta be careful. Yes. In the end, TaToH should be fine over here. Mr. Yo seemed as if he wanted to let TaToH convert the cows back to go back and snipe these. But in the end, TaToH was too close to the TC for Mr. Yo to go for something like that, and he was able to save the cows. On the right hand side, taking a look at Mr. Yo's map generation, we'll see instead that the red player's got one of the goals for, so that's not ideal, but he does have one of the goals to the right hand side, kind of towards the back a little bit. Meanwhile, for stones, we have the main stone on the left hand side, and then there's another stone in the back over here, so this one's going to be safe. This one's going to be somewhat safe. He will need to wall up towards the water over here to completely secure himself. Probably something like this, or something like this would be good. And especially with a wall like this, he will be able to secure... Oh, shoot. He will be able to secure this as well. Players get to the village. We see an archer range coming out for TaToH. Mr. Yo, he's going for a stable. So scouts for Mr. Yo. Sorry, scouts for TaToH. Archers for Mr. Yo. Makes sense given the current villager distribution. Hey Arbase, welcome back. Just in time for the new set. Yes, indeed. And so far, TaToH's been kind of getting ahead in economy because of the extra fishing ships. He's got another one queued up. Nobody's going for any sneaky dog stolen. Yeah, we see the walls come out for Mr. Yo. I wanted to see, so he will secure this wool line, which is great. Meanwhile, TaToH is going for the walls. This is not necessarily what I was expecting to see for the bull player. So he won't be able to secure this necessarily, especially if Mr. Yo starts bringing the archers forward. But it seems like he's going to go for a greedier wall on the left-hand side towards the edge of the map. So he's trying to secure this corner for himself. And then forward. TaToH's got the first few scouts coming in. 3. 2 more queued up. Mr. Yo's got 2 archers only. 2 spearmen. And TaToH plays his cards right over here. Should be able to take the spearmen down and the archers down as well. There we go. TaToH is here for TaToH as well, so he's really placing a lot of emphasis on preventing Mr. Yo from getting any damage done. That is very interesting because TaToH was investing quite a lot into military himself, but he's not really been going forward. He's not really been able to do too much damage, or at the very least he did go forward, but Mr. Yo already had the walls up, so it's unlikely that TaToH will be able to do too much. And for some reason he did not cancel the 6th scout. And that's going to delay him to the castle age a little bit, but he'll still be the first player to be there given his stronger amount of fishing ships. And the bonus that Mongols get, whereby they get faster working hunters as well. Seems like TaToH will still be the first player to get to the castle age. This is what I was talking about as well. He's pushing the villagers away from wood. Update title. Oh, true. My bad. Let's fix that. There you go. Let me know if it's updated now. Should be. Perfect. Thank you for the heads up, Mumi Jamala. And interestingly enough, TaToH still has not finished the walls. But he's going for houses over here, which will be stronger and will last longer than palisades. Will be stronger to, will be slower to get through for Mr. Yo. But it's going to take longer for TaToH to finish building this, of course, because each house foundation is going to take longer than 2 palisades. TaToH's getting the market tab. He already has the resources to click out to the castle age, though. Gonna be on his way. Mr. Yo's not really falling too far behind. I really thought TaToH was going to get there significantly sooner, but in the end, it's gonna be a somewhat comparable castle time for both these guys. go. Bloodlines coming up now for TaToH. And there you are. Mr. Yo ends up breaching through, pushing TaToH away. The blue player will be the first one to get up by quite a lot though, and because he's got a good amount of scouts over here, once he gets the light cavalry upgrade, he should be in a very good spot. But take a look at that! The near control is very good. In the end, we're gonna see the spearmen go down over there. And TaToH has not really taken too much damage with the scouts over here, so he's just trying to go after the archers with the scouts. He's chasing the spearmen with skirmishers as well, so these archers are getting completely wiped out from Mr. Yo and TaToH! TaToH's looking so strong. He's going after the spearmen. He takes it. He's going after the archers, and he should be able to take these two. A little bit of a nuke over there for Mr. Yo to fit his archers in. He didn't really utilize. And now the archers get completely cleaned up. Just in time for TaToH to get to the Castle H and start pumping his Castle H units. So what will he go for? He's got a second stable coming up, but it took some time. And he's got a lot of wood over here, so it's not that he didn't have the resources. It's that he was paying attention to his military units in order to clean out the units from Mr. Yo. His second stable got delayed. Otherwise, he would have been able to start going for knights right away from both these stables. And right now he's got actually step lancer production. Not even knights. And he's got the resource to go for extra TCs. One is coming up over here in the siege workshop. Yeah, and he's got just the one dock, but he's been taking advantage of it quite a bit. 11 fishing ships. Meanwhile, Mr. Yo. Mr. Yo's got 2 docks, he's got 11 fishing ships. He'll be able to collect more food from the ponds compared to TaToH. And even after he runs out, once he gets kill nets, those fishing ships are still going to be pretty good, so. No problem. Step Lancers flashback to Red Bull, although, yeah. Up in the north, he's getting cleaned up. Down the south, he's unable to breach through, but once he brings the mana forward, that's going to put him in a much better spot, and the 30C is finally on the way for TaToH. Now this can be rough for Mr. Yo. He's coming forward. He's going straight into the siege workshop, and TaToH knows it. The mountain's coming out. Oh, that was not good. That was not good. Mr. Yo ends up pulling the crossbows away, and TaToH is unable to do any damage over here in the end. Yeah, why pop it out on that side? That's what I'm wondering too. I guess he probably just out garrisoned it as opposed to going for a gather point. Well, in the end, these crossbows should get cleaned up, right? Sub Lancers, 1 range. We'll take these guys down easy. It's fine. One of these gets taken down in the end. He takes all the crossbows, so it's pretty alright. Not the worst, not the best. Now Horse Scholar is coming in for TaToH. Mr. Yo. Mr. Yo already had Horse Scholar. He doesn't have Bolsa though, which TaToH does already have. And then down the south, TaToH did manage to get the sneaky dock up, but so far has been unable to do too much with it. And because Mr. Yo is aware of this already, and he managed to get the fire galleys out earlier, it doesn't seem like TaToH will be able to get too much damage done with this dock at all. If he goes for a demolition raft, maybe he can land a good shot on the fishing ships and take these down, but actually trying to fight Mr. Yo off over here is going to be really bad. Especially now that Mr. Yo's got the War Galley upgrade and TaToH's just with Fuel H army. Hey Chicho. Hey Tail. Welcome, welcome. Let's take a look at this. Can he get a good shot over there? He should be able to. The fishing ships are coming up, and Mr. Yo realized TaToH waited too long. He was waiting for the perfect shot over there. Got a little bit greedy, and Mr. Yo realized. So now TaToH's gotta go and try and hunt those fishing ships. We'll see if he can get a good shot. That was bad. Again, what is going on? TaToH is not usually the player to struggle and take advantage of demolition ships, struggle and out-garrison the mountain on the wrong location. But it seems like it's the case this game around so far for the Bull player. With 2 mountains, however, he's putting a lot of extra pressure against Mr. Yo, and the red player, he's got 3 TCs to work with. Sanctity is coming up now as well. The University is already up, and he's got him ballistic, so that makes the crosses significantly stronger. But he's got to be careful with the long, the step lancers in the mountains. These crosses can still go down. He's playing no Britons over here. He's just playing Japanese, so these are just run-of-the-mill crossbows. TaToH should be able to get some good damage down over here if Mr. is not extremely careful. Let's take a look. The mountain shot over there is not going to connect. He doesn't even get the shot off. And the crossbows just keep on pushing, but he's gotta respect the range of the mountain. Now that is bad though. That is a misclick from TaToH. He's bringing some villagers over, so he should be able to repair this. And he's got a 3rd magnet coming over, so the pressure from TaToH keeps on ramping up. Military count is better for Mr. Yo, but military value is better for TaToH. We'll see redemption come up for Mr. Yo. So at this point in time, he's gonna try and defend just with full monk play. We have some monks for TaToH as well. Mongols, unfortunately, they do not get redemption. So if he ends up losing the mana to the conversion over there, he needs to back on the step lancer and his own mana to take it down before it does too much damage. And in the end, he does end up taking a loss with the magnet getting converted and the monk getting taken down by the magnet over there. Sorry, but he's got 2 left over here, plus enough stone to go for a castle. Almost enough. 100 less, but he does end up buying it, and now the castle's coming for us. So this is a lot of pressure coming in from TaToH. It's just going to keep on ramping the pressure up. And Mr. Yo, he's been able to defend fine for the most part, but he's still going to struggle. And of course, TaToH, with 3 TCs, he is ahead in worker count right now compared to Mr. Yo. With the castle over here, is going to be the first player to get access to the unique unit, and with Mangodai coming out sometime soon for TaToH, he's gonna start massing the army that he wants to play with for the later stages of the game, of course. Beautiful. Step Lancers have no armor at all. For Pierce armor or melee armor. Pierce armor, they have 1. Melee armor, they have nothing. It's not as good as Knights, of course, with their 2 base, but it's alright. Can be very good when fighting in certain ways, especially around choke points. But you know that. Nice shot. The magnet conversion hits though, and careful. Oh! Huge shot! The nuclear shot for Mr. Yo takes all 3 remaining mangonels down for TaToH, and that's gonna be 4 mangonels down the gutters for TaToH. Damn! That's a disgusting shot from Mr. Yo, who, by the way, will be the first player to click up to the Imperial Age. Now that both players get their castles up, you should expect to see the players racing to get up to the Imperial Age, so that whoever gets the trebuchets first gets in a better spot, usually by taking the castle down from their opponent. But TaToH shouldn't lag too far behind. He has been quite keen on collecting stone, and he doesn't seem to be interested in selling it. Otherwise, he would be able to go up to the Imperial Age already. Instead, he wants to go for the second castle. That means that his Imperial Age is delayed by quite a lot. I like that TaToH's trying to hold on to the hill over here on the right hand side. Could potentially even use this hill to go for a castle, but yeah, Mr. Yo only 1 minute and 10 seconds away from the Imperial Age. TaToH has not really been going for Mangodai whatsoever, just keeps on going for more Step Lancers, and will be ahead in economy compared to Mr. Yo, but will be so far behind to the Imperial Age. I'm kind of wondering right now, given the fact that TaToH is not going for Mangodai whatsoever, is he trying to bait Mr. Yo by going for the castle forward and fully display. And this castle doesn't really give TaToH much of anything, you know. It doesn't give him control of the gold. It doesn't really push even TaToH potentially away from the gold. Is TaToH trying to play mind games over here, trying to force Mr. Yo, or trying to prompt Mr. Yo into going after the Imperial H earlier at the expense of economy, and then TaToH's just gonna try to play for economy and go after the Imperial H later? That would seem kind of weird though, as given how Mongols are kind of banking on a strong economy to get a strong Mangudai army. So if you end up sacrificing your castle in order to get a stronger economy, I'm not really sure that actually makes too much sense. I guess we're going to find out. Starts getting closer to going up to the Imperial H. Should be able to catch up to Mr. Yo in a moment, but take a look at this. The step lancers are coming in. The Mountains over there taking a lot of villages down. The castle comes out of a huge cost. A lot of villages went down trying to get this one up. That's going to be about it. Yo has no gold control right now. I mean, it does. Oh, this castle? Yeah. That's great. This one was not really denying the gold, but it's making it difficult for Mr. Yo to collect. But that's good though. Yes. Mr. Yo is gonna collect gold from the left-hand side, so he'll still have access to it. But it's good denying this one. It's fine. The right-hand side is completely denied. This one not so much. Mr. Yo still has access to gold, and if he can push the castles down over here, he'll get access to these two. I guess maybe TaToH didn't really know about the one on the left-hand side. No, he knows. So I don't think that was necessarily the plan. Now the castle's scrambling over here. And he's not going up to the Imperial H at all, though. Seems like he's going to try to take this one on the Castle H. But if he's sticking to Castle H units against the Imperial H upgrades with Mr. Yo already on Bracer, these costs are so strong. Yeah, I'm not too sure about TaToH's strategy over here. Yesterday, I wasn't really sure about Nikov's play in the first series, but in the end, he ended up making it work. The arena game with Turks, remember? That was an interesting one. I didn't really understand it at first. In the end, it ended up working out for him. Well, not really, but it was an interesting strategy to see. And this time around, I do not really understand what TaToH's going for. And whatever it is, it doesn't really seem to be working out for him. With Mr. Yo and his Imperial H upgrades, he's already taking the castles down. The trebuchets, he's taking the step lancers down pretty easily with crossbows. And now the arbalister upgrades on the way for Mr. Yo, so he's gonna start getting momentum. And TaToH, well, TaToH gets completely pushed away from the right hand side of the map. Should be completely pushed away from this side very soon. Halberdier should come soon. He could. I think Arbalister should be good enough over here against any castle unit. Any castle H unit. So he doesn't need to. But he could. Go for it. Especially with Japanese, they do attack so fast, right? TaToH seems to be kind of dead over here. And I'm really curious as to what the strat actually was. This is what the decider said. Whoever wins over here moves on to the quarterfinals. While whoever loses over here gets knocked out of the tournament. Beautiful castle coming out for Mr. Yo. Skirmishers though from TaToH end up pushing him away, and it seems like this is going to be a doubt castle in the end. Yeah, it should be. And unbelievable that TaToH was actually able to keep this castle up. As long as he did on the right hand side. Without going to the Imperial H though, that castle doesn't really do too much of anything. Just going to be a stone pit. I guess it's going to delay Mr. Yo a little bit more, right? As he is not bringing everything he's got forward. That was a beautiful Dow castle though. TaToH now is 37 workers ahead compared to Mr. Yo. How amazing is this? Yeah, and the churches are going down. One is going down. 400 resources down the drain. Another one goes down. A lot of resources down the gutter for Mr. Yo. TaToH keeps the castle up on the right hand side. Needs to go up to the Imperial Age at some point though. When will that be? See, his momentum kind of washes away. There we go. Beautiful. He's trying to go for the castle over here, but that's a lot of skirmishers. The castle's only at 80%, so it's not particularly close to completion. However, that is a lot of villagers, and TaToH won't be able to prevent this one from coming up. Yes. And now Mr. Yo. He can go for the trebuchets once again. He's got a castle to actually protect those with this time around. And TaToH's struggling. Struggling big time. Has spent hundreds of resources trying to keep this castle up. He's finally managed to get enough resources to click out to the Imperial Age by utilizing the market pretty heavily. His economy was not particularly balanced. Ended up selling about 1,000 wood over there or so. And Mysterious momentum over here continues. Now we'll see. Will Mysterious Imperial Age allow him to push TaToH down before TaToH gets to the Imperial Age and is able to equalize? Doesn't seem too likely, as Mysterious on 158 population versus 200 for TaToH. Yeah, the villager gap is huge. Military count is pretty similar. TaToH's already getting to 200 pop. Doesn't use water in the north, Satch. Yeah. TaToH's just using the fishing ships over here, the fish traps, rather. And in the end, he loses the castle over there, and Mr. Yo will stay alive over here for the time being. Doesn't have half of the year, but the pikemen are still going to suffice. Plus the arbalesters against the step lancers over here. He pushes TaToH away. Once again, 180 population for TaToH, 175 for Mr. Yo. He's catching up. He's catching up. He will keep this castle up, will he? Actually, that's three rams over here, though. Make that 2 rams. That is so close. And he keeps the castle up. All the rams go down. That was so close, too. One more hit from all 3 rams simultaneously, and the castle was dead. Here we go. TaToH gets to the Imperial Age. What does he do? He's got Bracer on the way for the skirmishers, but Mr. Yo's got momentum. I am expecting to see the Hub of the Arcade come up from Mr. Yo anytime now that he's got, well, okay, doesn't have the resource anymore, but he was very close to it. Okay, there we go. Should be able to go for it. He's not going for it just yet. And we need more production because Mr. Yo right now has got 10 pikemen killed up from 2 barracks only, and that's going to be the only barracks he's got. Plus, because he's got them back home, it's going to take so long for the units to actually make it to the front, so he needs to go for extra barracks in front, he needs to go for extra archer ranges in front. And TaToH's going for onager, chemistry, conscription. And so far, Mr. Yo's momentum over here is strong, but not game ending just yet. And TaToH's got drills. He's got drills on the way. We already saw some very interesting siege micro this game, or actually today, rather. So earlier today we saw Cataparuto trebuchets from MBL. Now we get to see drills, onagers from TaToH. He's got it. No Rams, no Ferraris, just full on onager. He's actually keeping the onager alive over here. It's taking such little damage from the pikemen. Yeah, an elite samurai is coming up over here for TaToH, for Mr. Yo, sorry. Well, TaToH's just sticking to light cavalry. Still 200 population for the bull player, but he is definitely on the back foot here. Make no mistake, Mr. Yo's got momentum, the driver's seat over here. Red player should be in a pretty alright spot still, and it seems like the game's kind of stabilized for the most part. Here we go. Here come the onagers. We have 2 for TaToH, only 1 for the trebuchet goes down right away though. Mysterious gotta respect this. One big shot can clean up a big chunk of his army. El Samurai should shred through like cavalry and skirmisher. It should, and he's starting to mass a good amount of units. It's going to take some time, and obviously you can only produce him from the castles. But hey, he's been going for double barracks pikeman production for such a long time. Now at the very least he's gonna get the 5th castle out. That's going to be more than double the samurai production. And he's already getting some good damage down over here on the right hand side. TaToH was still holding on for a little bit, but now it seems like the TC is going down very soon. Yeah, we'll see these villagers get completely cleaned up from TaToH. And then on the left hand side, well, TaToH still has a trebuchet over here to push Mr. Yo's castles down. It might not matter. Mr. Yo's got the raids going on the left. Yeah, and damage that he's getting, the red player is getting done on the right hand side is so much greater compared to the damage the TaToH is getting done at the center. So TaToH calls the GG, and Mr. Yo takes game number 1 over here. I was so curious about TaToH's strategy this game, and I am not really sure I actually finished understanding it. It didn't seem too good. In the end, it didn't work out, and Mr. Yo takes game number 1. So going through the achievements, we're going to see a 5 to 4k ratio for Mr. Yo, as well as a stronger economy for TaToH, though. But Mr. Yo did not really care about the economy too much. The economy was stronger for him, so he was able to compensate for some of that. And also the trades were pretty alright, I would say, for the most part. Although at some point, he was trading arbalesters for skirmishers. But before that, we saw step lancers go down to pikemen, to the arbalesters as well, right? Few too many trebuchet losses for Mr. Yo still. But yeah, manages to clutch this one up. Taking a look at society, towards the end of the game, Mr. Yo was getting ahead in working count, so it was just going to be a matter of time until he started pulling ahead significantly. And here we are, guys. TaToH with Burgundians, Mr. Yo with Bohemians. We have seen this matchup before a few times. Both these civilizations are very, very strong. On closed maps and arena specifically, is going to favor both these civilizations quite a bit. So let's enable predictions for game number 2. It's going to be 5 minutes of real world time. So that means about 8 minutes or so of in-game time. Option 1 will be TaToH, and option 2 will be Mr. Yo. There you are. Meanwhile, we can talk about the civilizations and whatnot. Oh my lord, this is not... Come on. Nova, please. Hold on, I need to restart now. Who wins game number 2? There we go. Option 1, TaToH. Option 2, Mr. Yo. Alright, there we go. 5 minutes. So by the time the game is about 10 minutes into it, the predictions are going to be closing. For these civilizations, and starting up in the north, TaToH is going to get with Burgundians access to eco upgrades 1H earlier for a food discount. Besides that, we also get for the bull player civilization higher attack and gunpowder units. A 50% discount on stable upgrades and access to the cavalry upgrade in the Castle Age. For the team bonus though, we'll see for Burgundians also relics that generate food in addition to gold. While taking a look at Bohemians on the other hand, Bohemians will get for the red player access to chemistry in the Castle Age, access to hand cannoneer in the Castle Age, 25% higher bonus damage from spear line units, and in addition to that, we also get free mining camp upgrades for the Bohemians. The team bonus is going to make markets work 80% faster, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's everything, right? Let me just take a look. Yes, okay. Oh, blacksmiths and universities cost 100 less wood. I forgot about that one. Fervor and Sanctity affect villagers too, so forget about those two. Forgot to mention those two, but everything else is correct. And let's go and take a look at the map generation next then. Starting with TaToH, we'll see that the bull player gets one of the golds forward. It's actually going to be the main gold forward, and this is very close to the walls. And the secondary gold is very close to the walls as well. So that means, of course, that if we were to see Mr. Yo go alongside the walls like this, or like this, potentially, we could see the red player spot both these golds and also the stone. All of these resources are forward for TaToH. This could potentially influence the decision as to where to drop a castle for, you know, for Mr. Yo if he was to go for it. Well, if we take a look at the map generation for Mr. Yo, on the other hand, it's gonna be actually kind of similar. It's actually really close. Both these players have forward resources inside the walls, and both the golds over here plus the stone from Mr. Yo will also be exposed to potential scouts, or not really exposed as in vulnerable, but will also be visible, you know, to scouts who scout around the wall over here close to the wall itself. We do have a little bit of extra surface area for Mr. TaToH to work in this game, as he's got a little bit of an extra pocket of land over here on the back, but yeah, beyond that, it's going to be pretty similar. Taking a look at the relic generation, the relic distribution rather, we'll see that there's one relic favoring Mr. Yo over here. There is another relic over here that's going to be kind of favoring Mr. Yo a little bit over there, but then at the same time, we have also the possibility for TaToH to collect this one as it's kind of close. And then the blue player will have this relic available to him. And then the rest will be kind of contested. Like this one certainly favors TaToH for the most part, right? And then this one on the left-hand side, this one is going to be definitely up for grabs, and both these players will be fighting over it. Who gets to the castle age earlier though? It's going to be Mr. Yo. It's going up early on 25 population, while TaToH's going up on 26 population a little bit later, but with a stronger economy, of course, by getting access to Horse Collar and double bit axe already. The predictions are open for just one more minute. If you have not gotten the predictions going yet, this is the time to do it. Option 1, TaToH. Option 2, Mr. Yo. Who takes game number 2? That was already up for Mr. Yo. The blacksmith too, so he's on his way to the castle age. And we'll start pumping some scouts very soon, so he can get some map control, and because he's playing Bohemians, it's very likely we'll see monasteries come up, and he'll try to go after all 5 relics. TaToH instead, playing with Burgundians, does go for a stable, does go for a market. He should be able to still go for a few scouts himself, with the difference, of course, that Mr. Yo will be the only player with a blacksmith for which he can get upgrades for his scouts. TaToH's going full repart. Yeah. Well, I don't know if full, but he's got that stable in the market, at least. Thank you for the good commentary. Keep it fresh. No problem, TaToH. Thank you so much for showing up and joining me to cast these fantastic games. You know, we've been live for 5.5 hours. Sometimes the streams feel a little bit longer than they are, and sometimes the streams feel significantly shorter than they are, and certainly this doesn't really feel like it's been a long stream at all. It doesn't really feel like that when the games are so good, when you're casting S-tier tournaments and the players leave it all on the battlefield. Certainly after the previous set was over, I couldn't believe we were already halfway through, even if in terms of actual time, streaming time, it's kind of comparable compared to yesterday, where we were also about 4.5 hours into the stream. You know, before the third set began. But yeah, you just don't feel it. Yeah, so they're just here for TaToH. A little bit earlier for Mr. Yo, so he already got the monastery up, and we see a second TC on the way for Mr. Yo. Meanwhile, TaToH's going for the monastery. 2 villagers too. Taking a little bit longer. He's going for the second TC himself as well, so it seems like it's going to be pretty close in terms of economy for both these guys. Here we are. Mysterio's got 3 scouts, and TaToH's got 4 technically. For light cavalry, 3 light cavalry for TaToH and Mr. Yo. Just that TaToH didn't really have them all together, so he can really engage against Mr. Yo's with individual units. And now the red player is going out with the first monk, gonna try and collect this relic. Should be able to. We have spearmen, we have light cavalry over there. Mr. Yo is going to get away with this relic for sure. Meanwhile, with TaToH sending the first monk out in a moment. Where is he going to go? Well, this one is almost guaranteed, but you have to take it. So TaToH would be playing the safest by going for this one first, but there's an argument to be made about just going for another one, and take a look at that monk. With style, he's gonna collect the relic? No! Because the light cavalry are over here, Mr. Yo. Gets pushed away now, and TaToH doesn't even go for the relic anymore. Actually, he's going to go for the one on the left-hand side. So there was an argument to be made over there, but you know, about just kind of leaving this one for the second relic, and then going for one of the farther away ones. One of the farther ones. So he's gonna go for that. And that means that he's getting the second monk coming out over here. He's going to have both these relics coming in at a very comparable time. Meanwhile, Mr. Yo collected the relic we were talking about on the left-hand side for sure. And then these two are still going to be out for grabs. This one is kind of favoring Mr. Yo. And then on the left-hand side, this one is going to be still up for grabs. And we're going to see players fight with claws and teeth over the relic. The consensus amongst the clown folks seem to be to get the super safe ones last. Makes sense. Makes sense. It's riskier for TaToH to go for this one, for instance, so TaToH can... For Mr. Yo to go for this one, so TaToH can delay it a little bit and go for a farther one. And he does. And now in the end, it's going to be 2-2. And the 5th relic, still up for grabs, will be fought over. For... Nice snipe over there, though, from Mr. Yo. Still 1 monk is left for TaToH, and right now he doesn't really have any spearmen, so Mr. Yo's army composition is technically better, although the numbers are not quite as good, though. Mr. Yo's got 2 spearmen and 2 light cavalry only. So TaToH, even if he saw the spearmen out in the open, could still utilize his superior number to go and snipe the monks anyway, before the spearmen were able to take the light cavalry down. So you just got the monk over there though, but TaToH's there too. With light cavalry, he will fight the light cavalry off from Mr. Yo. He will fight the monk off, take the monk down, push the light cavalry away from Mr. Yo. Now the red player is gonna keep on trying over here because he's got the spearmen, but once again, the spearmen take the light cavalry down slower than the light cavalry take the monk down over here. So because we have a larger army for TaToH, should still be able to prevent Mr. Yo from collecting this one. Sending some of the light cavalry back so that they can protect the monks. We'll see. And welcome you guys. Welcome you all. Those of you joining the stream for the first time. Hope you're enjoying so far. This is Warlords, brought to you by Memb TV and Microsoft. They're the host and the sponsors for the tournament respectively. And there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Monk goes down immediately. And now TaToH knows where the relic is. He still has all 5 like cavalry, and because he's got 2 monks, he can go after the spearman over here. Yeah, he pushes the spearman away. And notice that Mr. Yo was roaming around. TaToH knew exactly what Mr. Yo was up to. So he just sent his own light cavalry up in order to try and protect the monks. And now, he's going for the relic. Imperialists should be on the way for both these guys at about the same time, as not only were they trying to collect the relics over here, but they were also working their economies back home. And let's take a look. That is not good though! Mr. Yo gets the monk down! Yes, sir! 1 monk is left for TaToH to work with over here. He's done such a good job for such a long time, and he just dropped the ball at the very last second over there, taking the light cavalry too far away from the monk. And now, well, there we go. Now, yeah, TaToH's doing a much better job protecting the monk. There we go, and the monk goes down in the end. Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Mr. is the only player left with the monk, but still, the light cavalry are so much more numerous for TaToH that he'll end up taking the monk down over here. No one's going to collect the 5th relic, my man. No, no, no. It's just going to stay contested over there. This one will just remain at a somewhat comparable distance to both players' monasteries. A little bit closer, it seems, to Mr. Yo still. Redemption's on the way for Mr. Yo, as well as the pikeman upgrade TaToH chemistry as well. And TaToH, on the other hand, he's got 2 mansaw. He's got handcart. Imperialist is gonna be here a little bit early. Well, actually a lot earlier for TaToH. And he started to collect some stone. Actually, he's been collecting stone for a while. He's got the first castle coming up, and he's got 7 stone miners, which will allow him to go for another castle pretty soon. Meanwhile, Mr. Yo, he's got almost enough resources to go for his own castle so far. And if we take a look at gather economy time, it's favoring TaToH a little bit. So that explains also why he's in a better position over here. Worker count might look very similar, but because of the better eco upgrades, TaToH's economy is just so good. The real distance is to the gate, not the monastery though. Well, if they have to train a monk, they have to go from the monastery. But that's the distance to the relic. Then the distance back is just to the gate, because it doesn't matter, right? Once you're safe, it's good. I think at that point nobody had a monk, right? In the end though, TaToH ends up collecting it though. He was a little bit farther away, but he ended up collecting it. And Mr. Yo is gonna get to the Imperial Age now. However, TaToH's got the first Orisha coming out already. About the same time as Mr. Yo gets to the Imperial Age and gets the first Orisha queued up. There we go, second Trish is coming out, and TaToH's going to be on 2 versus 1 trips. So he's been struggling. The Barcans are on the way now for TaToH. Mr. Yo went for chemistry when he was on his way to the Imperial Age, so he was able to start going for Barcans right away. He's got a little bit of a head start to it because of it, but TaToH is not really falling too far behind. Mainly because of the Trebuchet production head start that the blue player had. Come the light cavalry after the monks. I'm not really sure why Mr. Yo would pull the monks so far forward. He was trying to go after the bombard cannon, in the end couldn't do it. And now it's going to be TaToH's turn. He's going after the bombard cannon. That was so cool. Did you see that? I think Mr. Yo ended up canceling the attack over there, but in the end, it doesn't matter. The castle goes down from Mr. Yo, and TaToH's got momentum. Now you can go after the monasteries. This one does not have a single relic in it. We could potentially end up pushing Mr. Yo down over here, taking the monastery next. And collecting all the relics. He's got some good momentum, so hand cannoneer, bombard cannons for TaToH. No extra monks. Meanwhile, Mr. Yo is gonna keep on going for monks. He's got bombard cannons in the pikemen. For the time being, no Hubnita. TaToH is gonna keep on going for more and more HC as well, so it should be fine. And there we go. Man, this pressure from TaToH is just so good. Take a look at that population. It could kill before 30 minutes. It's looking great. With the bombard cannons, the monastery is going down next, and take a look. Beautiful unit control over here. TaToH realized about the monk right away. He brings the trebuchets over, so he doesn't need to bank on the hand cannoneer. Sorry, and the bombard cannons alone. Yeah, and he's taking the... Yeah, he's taking the relics out of the monastery, so this is huge. This is some great momentum for TaToH. Mr. Yo's struggling big time this game, as he's basically confined to the inside of his walls for the most part. Only a handful of villagers outside will be collecting some stone over here that will allow him to go for a defensive castle. But given the amount of siege that we have from TaToH over here, it doesn't seem like a defensive castle will stand up for much longer, right? And Hubnitz is on the way for Mr. Yo, but it does not matter. He calls it GG. As TaToH takes game number 2 without too many issues by the looks of it. He equalizes the series, and we get one more time. Yet another 4-game series guaranteed. Let's go through the achievements. A very nice KD for TaToH. Very, very close to 2-1. For economy, a stronger economy for TaToH as well, collecting about 6,000, actually 5,444 extra resources compared to Mr. Yo. And for society, a stronger society for TaToH as well. Towards the end of the game especially, he was getting some momentum over here, and it was just going to be a matter of time before he completely overshadowed Mr. Yo's economy. Well done. No complaints from me. So, let's play the predictions from game number 2. TaToH came out on top. We have a tied up series now, and we'll enable predictions for game number 3. Same options, same order. Option 1, TaToH. Option 2, Mr. Yo. 5 minutes, and get going. Let's take a look at the civilization, starting with TaToH. We have Portuguese, which means he will get faster research and upgrades. He's gonna have also 10% extra HP on Navy units, as well as a 20% gold discount. And then in addition to that, a 30% gold discount on military units, and then in addition to that, he gets access to Phaeteria. For the team bonus, on the other hand, it's going to be for team games specifically, as it's free shared vision, and Mr. Yo instead with Koreans. He gets 20% faster working stone miners, 3 extra line of sight on villagers. And that can be huge, especially a Nomad start game over here. You just see so much. Take a look at how much vision he's getting from a single village over here. It's just ridiculous. It's so good. Such a chunky line of sight. And then besides that, Koreans also get 3 tower upgrades. They're gonna have a 20% wood discount on military units, and for the team bonus, we also see for Koreans. Oh, this is very good from Mr. Yo. For the team bonus, we also see for Koreans 1 minimum range on manual line weapons only, which we have seen already result in very interesting plays in the past. Now, this is very good. Mr. Yo, being the expert player he is in Nomads, gonna try and lame the Rhino over here. Not gonna be able to get it though. Oh, he got it, TaToH! He was trying to take the Rhino around Mr. Yo's villager, but he does end up taking the Rhino down. So that one is going to rot away for the most part. TaToH's trying to collect some food out of it, but that's going to be about it, and he won't be able to collect it completely. The game is paused though, and I'm very curious about this. I imagine probably they want to check the rules, because I remember in some tournaments in the past that sometimes there will be rules against taking resources away from your opponent before a certain time in the game, before a certain, you know, clock time. I imagine that's probably what they're trying to figure out right now. And I'm gonna take a look myself. Let me check. Warlords handbook. Nomad start. All rules in this paragraph apply only for maps where players start without a town center and only pertain for the first 2 minutes of in-game time. Alright. And only pertain for the first 2 minutes of in-game time. So from this alone, we know that that nothing happened over here. That it's good that Misayo took the Rhino down over here. But before 2 minutes of game time, players are not allowed to attack enemy units, buildings, and herdables, although stealing enemy herdables is allowed. Walling in enemy units or buildings before 2 minutes, alright, it's not allowed. As well as walling in relics, resources, herdables, or wild animals. And players must not construct their first town center within range, fire range, the enemy town center. Killing a wild animal without gathering at least 20% of the total amount of its food is not allowed either. But once again, remember, this is before 2 minutes into the game. We are just going to go back until that time in the game world and see if Mr. Yo had already started going for any of these things. And it seems like he hadn't. No, because the villager was on the way, but hadn't taken any animals down, hadn't walled any resources. So it's fine. Yo is in the clear, 100%. Now we are just waiting for the players to unpause the game. It's funny because I opened the handbook over here as I go and take a look at the rules, and then I see a lot of extra people checking the handbook. All of a sudden, all the little animal bubbles start popping up on top. But anyway, what is going on? Do we have any information about this? Not really. Let me take a look at the game. Who paused this? Game was paused by TaToH. Yes. And I think it was probably taking a look at the rules. Well, Mr. Yu is in the clear for sure. I think he's probably gonna need to talk to an admin to make sure that... Yeah, okay. They're gonna keep on going. He will need to talk to an admin or somebody who can actually go back in time in the game, right? And make sure that 2 minutes within the game, Mr. Yo was not going for his shenanigans, but he was in the clear, so it's all good and the game continues. Yeah, and Mr. Yo goes on for more antics over here, taking the Ibex down, and that is so good. For the red player, take a look at how far away TaToH's gonna have to go to get the Rhino. He must have seen that mining camp. Yes. He does. He knows about the mining camp. He knows about the TC. He's got great vision. Well, not great vision, but he's explored a big deal of the map because of the extra line of sight. Here we are. Oh man, that got too close though. TaToH almost loses a villager over there. We talked about the civilizations, yes. But we haven't taken a look at the map, or actually the TC location for both these guys. So let's begin with the blue player. Right off the bat, we'll see that, of course, TaToH has been struggling for food, as all the hunting around his base, or his map, or his TC rather, got taken down by Mysterio. So this over here as well, the Rhino over here, of course. And then for the rest, he's gonna be fine. He's got stone in front, stone in the back. Gold's not going to be immediately available, as this gold is so far away up in the north, and then this gold is also so far away on the right hand side towards the south. But he's collecting from it already. And he's got 2 wood lines. Besides that, let's take a look at Mysterio's TC. For the red player, we have the stone up in the north, secondary stone, or actually it's not really secondary, but he's got another stone over here on the right hand side, and he's got a gold over here, as well as a gold over here towards the south as well. So that's a lot of resources that seem to me like they are more immediately available to Mysterio compared to TaToH. And then both players will have the same as well, 2 wood lines. Asara's the first player to click out to the fuel H by just a little bit. He sends some villagers forward, and he's gonna try to get a tower up over here, I would imagine. He knows about the TC, but he doesn't know about the lumber, actually he doesn't know about the miners over here. So now Mysterio will spot the villagers from TaToH, and that is very unfortunate for the bull player, because he was backing on the tower over there to start doing damage. Division players play more Nomad? Historically, I would say yes. As of late, I don't think necessarily. Also, some of the European players play quite a lot, especially the sorry, not the Vietnamese. What am I talking about? Some of the European players, the Finnish players play quite a lot of Nomad too. And even non-Finnish players such as Project Belgium plays quite a lot of Nomad. So it's not the case, right? In the past, it used to be for the most part of the Chinese community, yes. Anyway, nice tower comes up over here from both players, and that is not a good tower though from TaToH. He pushes villagers away from the stone. I mean, sure, but Mysterio already had another stone available on the right hand side. We noticed before. Now TaToH's trying to roam around with outposts, trying to get some damage done, trying to get some vision, and Mysterio knows exactly where TaToH is. He's not going to let him get away with anything. And the tower on the way for TaToH. Now this one is better though, because this one pushes you away from the gold and from the same stone. Would have been a better first tower location, but he didn't really have vision of this too much before. And little does he know, Mysterio reacted beautifully to the tower. And actually, is he going to end up losing a villager over here? Not quite. But the villagers have gone down in HP quite a lot, especially 2 of these are kind of weak from TaToH, so he's got to be careful. And Mysterio's just fine. We noticed he had 2 of each, so he can go for this stone, he can go for this gold. He's gonna be fine. Instead, he's gone for an archer range, right? And he's starting to put pressure over here. TaToH. TaToH gets pushed away from the gold, and he'll most likely not get pushed away from the stone over here, as you notice. Mysterio had vision of the mining camp over here earlier. It's unlikely these skirmishes will prevent the tower from coming up. They're just going to be a small nuisance that TaToH's going to have to deal with. Although Mysterio's bringing some extra villages over here. This could be good though. And TaToH knows. TaToH sees the villages over here, so he's going to match Mysterio as well. And up the ante. In the end though, both players disengage. And it seems like it's going to be about the end of the aggression of the fuel H. It's unlikely TaToH can get anything done over here with these 3 villages, as Mysterio's got the defender's advantage, and it's unlikely Mysterio will be able to get anything done over here. The one thing that I would like to see Mysterio go for still though is towers around the map, only because he's going to get the guard tower upgrade for free once he gets to the castle age. So even if he can get towers in not the best positions, but in good enough positions so that once he gets to the castle age and he gets blocking arrow, he'll be doing damage then, that could potentially still make a big difference. Mysterio didn't make a fire ship. He's going to lose his fish now. Oh, yeah. TaToH's been pushing the fishing ships around actually for a little bit. So Mysterio's got some idle economy over there. That is a big difference. That is a big difference. It's not just efficiency that aren't working for Mr. Yo, but also TaToH is ahead in worker count, so he's got 100% efficient efficient ships, and he's got all his villagers working for the most part. Most of his villagers working. Meanwhile, Mr. Yo, he's got a lower worker count. He's got some villagers roaming around for, so now it's going to be Mr. Yo's time to go for the trash. And this is what I'm talking about, you see? This tower, you get fletching, and doesn't really have enough range. But once it gets to guard tower and you get Balking Arrow, then we're gonna see the red player, of course, get enough range to push the villagers away from the resources over here. There we go, it's going back. Oh, beautiful tower though from TaToH. Okay, now this is a good one. This is a good one. There are no counter towers from Mr. Yo, and he gets pushed away from this goal. He's going up for this goal once again, of course, but this is already a little bit less than ideal because of the palisades from TaToH. He will still be able to collect from this, don't get me wrong, but it's good that TaToH is finally able to push Mr. Yo fully away from a resource without getting a counter tower to worry about. As the market's coming out, TaToH's gonna try to balance his economy. He doesn't really have enough resources to try and make a play for the castle edge. And Mr. Yo, I'm not really sure if he's got a market at all, and it seems like he doesn't. But even if he did, he wouldn't be able to go up just yet. However, his economy is, interestingly enough, looking a little bit stronger compared to TaToH, though. Like, if Mr. Yo had a market, he would have so many extra resources to trade. TaToH's roaming around with archers. He'll end up cleaning up these units from Mr. Yo. Well done. And he'll be the one still roaming around and putting pressure. On water, by the way. In the end, Mr. Yo managed to get a dock up in the north, managed to get the fishing ships back to work, and now he's going for some fire galleys himself, so he'll try to play for water control over here as well. Still about 5 workers behind, though, and now that TaToH's got the market, he's balancing his economy, and he's getting closer to having enough to go up to the castle edge. Meanwhile, Mr. Yo still is not quite there, but he is going for a market right now. He gets it up, and now he could try to balance his economy with the market and try and go up to the castle edge. And I think if he plays his cards right, Mr. Yo might actually be able to click up a little bit earlier compared to TaToH. There we go. Beautiful. Oh, guys, this is huge. This is huge. Mr. Yo's going after the castle edge. TaToH, not so much. And you know what? Mr. Yo didn't even need to tank his economy too much. He still has 5 stone liners. He still has a good amount of wood over here. It means that once he gets to the castle edge, he'll be able to go for extra TCs. Alternatively, he could go for a castle as well. What would be a good location for a castle from Mr. Yo? Let's take a look at what he knows about TaToH's base first. Yeah, he knows everything. He knows exactly where TaToH is. He knows exactly where TaToH is going. He knows where TaToH is collecting resources from. So I would say a good location for a castle would actually be kind of forward. I would say probably around, for the red player, probably around here. Right, somewhere around there. And then if he builds from this side, he should be able to get this castle up, and he would still be able to target the TC down, I think. Don't think you can castle drop TaToH? Well, won't be able to now, for sure. But yeah, it could be just a defensive one. Could very well be the case. In TaToH, well, TaToH's got almost enough resources to go for a castle himself. And Mysterio's getting to the castle age now. Still gonna have to wait a minute and a half before he gets enough. Meanwhile, TaToH's gonna have enough resources to get the castle up as soon as he gets to the castle age. Yeah, the problem is the towers, but if he got the foundation coming up over here, I think there is a place where the towers do not really range the villagers, I think. Not really. Yeah, not really. I mean, trying to get the castle up from this side would still be good because there are no villagers left for TaToH on the right hand side for him to garrison inside the tower, so this doesn't really do too much damage, but yeah, he's going for one on the back instead, or actually in front of his base, which is a lot more sensible. Now a castle's on the way for TaToH. It's going to be also a somewhat conservative castle, and neither of these players is going for a particularly aggressive one. And with the castle already up, Mysterio's going for war wagons. Meanwhile, TaToH's just finished researching the war galley upgrade, so he might end up getting full water control over here. He's got only 4 fire ships, sorry. But against fire galleys from Mysterio, 5 fire galleys. Yeah, TaToH should be in a much better position. Good, this is coming up for TaToH. This is coming up for Mysterio. Both players neck and neck, the same worker count. Not for too long. Once TaToH gets full water control, Mysterio's gonna fall behind a little bit, but shouldn't be by too much, especially in terms of proportional economy over here. Mysterio, proportionally speaking, is not really going to fall behind too much. Beautiful push though. The war wagons are pushing villages away from gold. Where does TaToH collect gold from? If not from there. He's got another gold down the south, especially now with the castle over here is much better protected. So it's just a temporary issue for TaToH. Even if he got pushed away from here permanently, he would just be able to move villagers over here to the south. And where are the organ guns? TaToH got the castle up, but is only now going for a few of the units, and it seems to me like Mysterio, because of the mobility, has a much stronger unit to put pressure with, to do damage with, and take a look at that. Now he's going after the tower, after the villagers, and the gold once again up in the north of TaToH's base. Yeah. And this tower could very well go down very soon. Mysterio has been producing war wagons for much longer, so now he is on 9. He's gonna have the 10th war wagon coming out. Meanwhile, TaToH, sorry, is only on 2 organ guns.
Estou pronto.
That's a lot of towers, my friend. That is a lot of war wagons, I mean, not towers. That is a lot of damage over here from Mysterio. Yeah, and TaToH, he's been going for months, but he's got a single monastery over here, so it takes some time for him to mass this up. And Siege, I don't think Siege would work. I think Mysterio is in a very good spot. TaToH was looking better before. Now Mysterio's been able to catch up and even get kind of a little lead over here versus TaToH by going up earlier. By getting extra units out as well. 14 war wagons versus only 6 organ guns. And with the mobility of these units, he can keep on roaming around, surrounding TaToH's economy and pushing him around all the time. He can push the lumberjacks away, and then TaToH, he doesn't really have any other choices though. He can only collect wood either from the south or from the north wood line. But both seem like they're going to be inaccessible now. And take a look. Now the organ guns struggling big time over here. Will end up taking one of the war wagons, but the war wagons are already pushing the villagers away from the wood. And this is huge for Mysterio. He's got 10 left over here. We have about 5, 6 organ guns left over there for TaToH. And Mysterio is just doing so much damage. Take a look at how much other economy TaToH's got right now. Another castle's on the way now for Mr. Yo. That is a beautiful castle drop. This permanently disables this gold for TaToH. So now there's only this one for the blue player to collect. But you know what? Mr. Yo is collecting stone quite heavily still. Might be able to go for a castle down the south over here and push TaToH away. But even without a castle, as long as he's got war wagons to roam around with, he can still push these villages away from gold. Without safe access to wood over here up in the north because of the castle. Without safe access to gold, to wood down the south because of the war wagons. Assuming that Mr. Yo keeps the units together. TaToH is kind of out of resources, so I think that's the way. Mr. Yo, he needs to group these units up. He's going to do nothing, taking houses down over here. So he needs to group these units up so he does not get pushed around by organ guns. And then he'll be able to deny the wool line, the gold. And basically, whatever remains of TaToH's economy that isn't just farms. So yeah, there we go. He's coming in. He's coming in. Diving underneath the TC right there. Pushing the villages away from the wood. And he needs to go through the left-hand side towards the south. Group these units up. And fight the organ guns off. Kind of struggling a little bit, but definitely is Mr. Yo right now calling in the shots. And TaToH, the player, playing reactively. Yeah, that is not good. That is not good. That's why we need it to get all the units grouped up. Now these war wagons do not really stand a chance against the organ guns. TaToH's being able to stabilize. I feel like Mr. Yo kind of wasted an opportunity over there and he could have put himself in a much better position. Now Mr. Yo is kind of falling behind as TaToH manages to get a conversion over here. Manages to get enough resources to click out to the Imperial Age as well. And the red player is kind of out of steam a little bit, running out of steam a little bit. He's got more war wagons coming out, yes, but this is also keeping him kind of stuck in the Castle Age. Third to see on the way for Mr. Yo. TaToH's on his way to the Imperial Age. His economy, efficiency cannot be anywhere near Mr. Yo. So let's take a look at gallery economy time. Yeah, of course, Mr. Yo's got over an hour extra gallery economy time. But Mr. Yo kind of dropped the ball over there a little bit, and now, only now, he's massing his units up. And only now he'll be able to take on the organ guns. Only now he'll be able to effectively push TaToH away from here. And you gotta wonder if this was on purpose to let TaToH click out to the Imperial Age in order to come forward and get the pressure going once again. But it's just so risky. I don't think it was on purpose. I think it's just the unit control was not there before, and it's there now. But they still gotta be careful. That's a good amount of organ guns. So yo, here we are. Pay attention. Beautiful. Another castle's coming up for Mr. Yo. TaToH's got one castle only. He's got the second castle on the way. By the time he gets to the Imperial Age, I think he's going to have still one castle, right? So he won't really be able to go for too much in terms of siege if he is to keep up with military production, because Mr. Yo keeps on going for war wagons, so TaToH cannot stop producing organ guns, and he can only go for one thing or the other from the castle. The second castle over here is going to alleviate the situation a little bit. He's sending a crap ton of villagers to get this one up. But still not ideal. Especially as Mr. Yo's got the third castle about to finish building, which means his war wagon production is going to be even stronger. Yeah, you know, trebuchets are coming out from TaToH, but this is the opportunity for Mr. Yo to strike. If TaToH starts going for trebs and cannot keep on going for organ guns, Mr. Yo is going to significantly outproduce the bull player. And let's take a look at this. Now, TaToH's here. He's got some villages. The TC is completely empty. So Mr. Yo is pushing away, and now we have the rounds coming over. from Mysterio straight into the castle. And TaToH's got some villages over here. Could try and take the Rams down over here with the villages, but because the castle is so close from Mysterio, he's got enough range to protect all the Rams over here. We have a 4th Ram coming out from Mysterio. And this is absolutely beautiful. Bunch of villages going down for TaToH, and Mysterio sacrificing a good chunk of units over here, just trying to keep the Ram pressure going, mind you. So this is not ideal, and the Organ Guns are taking the Rams down. Mysterio instead is trying to target the Organ Guns with his own War Wagons, but it seems like he's going to run out of units over here. The Organ Guns are just too strong, and TaToH will clean out the units as Mysterio gets pushed back and loses the Rams, loses the War Wagons, falls behind the military count a lot. Still stays ahead in economy, so won't become the GG just yet, but still, this is an incredible defense for TaToH. Absolutely fantastic. It's getting hot in here, guys. Another freaking hot day. 34 freaking degrees again. Oh my lord. Yeah. And Mysterio is going to lose another one over here. That is just disaster. He needs to try and balance his economy to go up to the Imperial Age. Yeah, there we are. Beautiful from TaToH. He traps the villages from Mysterio. Takes them all down. Mysterio still significantly ahead in work count though, and he's going up to the Imperial Age finally. And TaToH, well, TaToH needs to get some momentum over here. He needs to pick up some steam. He's got a good amount of organ guns. He's got the trebuchets over there. He's got to keep on going. He's got the second trebuchet on the way, so that's going to help. Victory is on the way now for TaToH as well, and then Mysterio. Mysterio's losing this castle for sure, but he's probably still going to have both these by the time he gets to the Imperial Age, or at the very least that should be the case, right? Playing with Koreans means he also gets access to bombard cannons, could potentially go for those once he gets up. However, TaToH technically has stronger gunpowder units when he's got the possibility of going for arquebus, but given the economy TaToH's got to work with right now, I would be surprised to see him go for anything more than just as many units as he can produce with his current economy, which isn't really a lot, just organ guns and the occasional trebuchet. But yeah, certainly the victory is going to help. Ideally, he wants to go for more than one. You're freezing? I'll take that. Can we switch places? Can we trade places? I saw this movie once about people just putting ads on the paper about trade. Actually, not on the paper, on the internet about trading houses. And then this one woman from the US who lived in a tiny apartment traded places with this woman from Europe who had a beautiful house in a village. You might recognize it. I'm not really sure. The type of movie that would usually be considered a chick flick, so to say, but not ashamed to admit I do enjoy a few of those from time to time. There we go, Imperial Age is here for Mysterio. And indeed, he still keeps both these castles up. He's got their castle over here in the back as well. Here we go, Siege Workshop's already up for Mysterio. Now he can try and make a play for a cat run. Fantastic. Are these elite already? No, these are not elite just yet. If Mysterio gets to elite, that's going to put TaToH in an even more precarious position. So far, the blue player is still looking very bad. Mysterio, if he got pushed away from here, wouldn't matter. He's got extra gold up in the north. He's got so much map control as well. He can go for this gold up in the north. So TaToH's he's playing for peanuts here. He's pushing Mysterio away from this goal, and Mysterio does not care. While TaToH, on the other hand, once he runs out of this gold, he's gonna be completely out. He's gonna be completely tapped out. So he's going for another Fatary over here, but it just does not seem like he'll be able to keep on going for much longer. So he's got the trebuchets coming out already. 2 trebuchets on the left-hand side. Good amount of war wagons. And that TC's going down. Once again, I don't think Mr. Yo cares too much. And we have chemistry already. So Bracer and chemistry. These war wagons are amazing. Once he gets the lead, they're going to be even stronger. Here comes the big engagement. Potentially, we have 23 war wagons versus 30 organ guns with the hill advantage. The organ guns over here will shred. Just gotta be careful. Not elite upgrade just yet. Then he gets pushed back. Yes. Just gotta respect the organ guns. That means for the time being, TaToH still has a little bit of leverage over here. Will end up taking the castle down for sure. He's taking the bombard. He's taking the trebuchet down over there with the bombard cannon as well, which is beautiful. Still one left over here for Mr. Yo, and eventually he'll end up taking this castle down. But both players will end up losing their castles for sure. However, after this one goes down, Mr. Yo will be left on 1 only, while TaToH will still be on 2 so long as he keeps this castle up. An elite war wagon is finally on the way for Mr. Yo after losing the castle. He's got only these units to work with until he gets a few more. He should be able to go for a second castle very soon. Yeah, and he's going for a defensive one. He's done going for 4 castles that get trapped down immediately, so he's going for a defensive one that's going to double up his war wagon production. Meanwhile, over here, TaToH is not really going for any extra organ guns. He's got just bombard cannons that he's going to try and defend and keep the castle up. The problem for TaToH is that all that he's going for right now will only give him a little bit of extra time to hold on to this little corner of the map, but there is nothing over here, right? He's got just wood. So he prevents Mr. Yo from pushing further, but he's not in a position to start pushing back anytime sooner. Let's take a look at this. We see now the organ guns taking the engagement against the war wagons. If we take a look at both the armies, it's looking much better for the war wagons, and it's not even close. It's not even close. Elite war wagon, they're just so tanky. Not that it would have made too much of a difference against standard war wagons, which are still very tanky, but this is just so ridiculously one-sided. Mr. Yo completely cleans that up. And now TaToH is on the back foot for economy, on the back foot for military. And as the castle crumbles over here very soon, TaToH will end up losing a lot of villages trying to keep it up a little bit longer. So Mr. Yo takes game number 3 on no map. And it's going to be 2-1 against TaToH in favor of the Chinese player. Let's go through the achievements before going back. For military then, we'll see a better KD for Mr. Yo. In the end, it's going to be better than 1-1, about 11-10. For economy, stronger economy for Mr. Yo, fueled by a much higher worker count, and it's not particularly close in this metric either. For APM, a higher total game effective APM for TaToH compared to Mr. Yo, but it just goes to show one more time it's not all about speed. And game number 4 is here then. TaToH is playing with Gujaras. Mr. Yo, he's playing with Poles. For these civilizations, TaToH is gonna have the ability to garrison herdables inside mills, fishing ships inside docks. He also gets, in addition to that, with Gujaras, he's got access to berries. He gets 2 starting berries underneath the TC. And then on top of that, we also have mounted units dealing plus 40% bonus damage. Well, for the team bonus, camel and elephant units get trained 25% faster. Now, Mr. Yo playing with Poles is gonna have HP regeneration on villagers, increasingly so depending on the age. More efficient working stone miners. And I'm very curious about this because usually we see Poles on maps like Hideout, Bypass. which do share some similarities with Oasis because of the middle wood, right? But we do not have any fortifications over here. We do not have any walls over here. So I'm kind of wondering if Mr. Yo is going to play this similarly to how we saw poles being used on Hideout, for instance. I guess we'll find out. Beyond that, poles will also have access to full work, and for the team bonus, their Scoutline units will get 1 bonus damage against Archer type units. Currently, we're covered in fog. Looks magical. What's this the Third War Extreme Drought version of it? I'm sorry, I don't want to make too many jokes about it. It's actually pretty tragic that there are wildfires. It was actually not as much of a fairy tale kind of scene as much as it was kind of like a Silent Hill, like an horror movie kind of scene. Last night, for instance, I had to go get some bread from the store, and yeah, like it was so weird. You couldn't see down the street more than 2 blocks away, which is usually never the case. Usually here the sky is so clear that you can see the hills so far away, like 30 miles away, whatever. And yeah, you can see two blocks away, and just the lights would fade. It was kind of awkward. Where do you live, Nova? Salta, Argentina. Hills? Yeah, we have hills. We are surrounded by hills in this city. It's a valley. Tell me some sheep still. Let's take a look. He's gotten 5 over here. He's got some, but he's collecting from the sheep too, so he's not going to garrison all of these. Meanwhile, Mr. Yo, on the other hand, he's gotten the full work already. That's a beautiful position as well. Y'all don't have AC? Some people do. Most people don't. Third world country, man. Electronics are extremely expensive. I would burst into flame and die without AC in Florida. Yeah, I am. I'm very close to that. I'm right on the edge. Not gonna lie. I'm about to spontaneously combust. Let's take a look at the map generation for both these guys, starting with TaToH. What do we get for the blue player? There is this gold on the right hand side. That's very close to the TC. Then the secondary one's going to be so far away, and the other secondary one's going to be so far away. One to the right hand side, the other one to the left hand side. He's got a barracks coming up. If he goes for a few palisades from here to here and here to here, should be able to completely secure himself. And then if he goes for something like this, it's going to be completely closed off, and he will be able to still secure both these golds and the stone, as well as the berries, and of course a good chunk of the wood line. If we take a look at the map generation for Mr. Yo, on the other hand, we'll see that the red players got Mingle in front of the TC. It doesn't matter, he's already going for walls, as you can see from the barracks over here in the house. It's going to take some time, but he's going to get there. And that means that he will end up securing all 3 golds. This one, this one, this one. The stone over here on the back as well. And this stone potentially too, if he ends up going for some walls probably around here. And a good chunk of the wall line, but that's to be expected on this map from both these guys. Oh, beautiful! TaToH's taking some of the sheep away. Mr. Yo had not finished collecting from these. Well, it's not going to be too bad, right? Mr. Yo starts going for a few farms over here and easy peasy. Get some of the food back. Wouldn't be too bad. Now he's going to start collecting some gold, and the walls are finally coming up. Mr. Yo's going for full stone wall. Fantastic. While everyone is crying about inflation, Argentina's asked what changed. What's different? What are you talking about? You don't get inflation? Just us? Anyway. Or yeah, you don't get 20% year on year. That's peanuts, man. There's a gap in the walls. Yes, there's a gap. We saw the scout actually get through over there, but I thought Mr. Yo realized about this. He's not sent the villagers over to close the gap yet, for whatever reason. But we saw earlier that Mr. Yo scout got through the houses, so I'm not really sure why he's not going for it. It seems like maybe he didn't realize. That's kind of rough though. It's got some push coming out with archers, spearmen. Let's joke about the wrong South American country. Well, I mean, we are on our way. We're on our way to catch up. There's a reason they call our country Argenzuela in many places. Fingers crossed. Not gonna be the case, but you never know. Scouts from TaToH have so far not really gotten any damage. Not being able to get any damage down so far, Mr. Yo. Not being able to get any damage so far himself either. So the players will stabilize over here. I'm still waiting for Mr. Yo to send the villager and actually close the gap over here. It's still open. Pretty uneventful so far. And then on the left-hand side, we have the archers coming out from Mr. Yo again.
Namaste.
Can he get there though? He's putting pressure. He's got a scout pushing the skirmishes away. This is huge. He might end up getting a villager down over here finally. In due time. He's respecting the skirmishers over there, trying to go after the spearmen so that the scouts still ends up taking the skirmishers over there. And in the end, it seems like the units will go down from Mr. Yo, and TaToH's defense should be good, right? Yes, scouts, very low HP. So it's going down to the skirmishers right now, and that means the archers cannot do anything anymore. Well done! Well done. TaToH, most likely or not, should have lost a villager over there, but he's managed to defend beautifully. Now he's bringing the scouts back, and that means that he's not really putting any pressure against Mr. Yo anymore. Now the red players finally getting away with the walls that we were talking about earlier as well for the red player. Gets this up over here, this over here, and this over here. Would you want to win the World Cup if not Argentina? I'm not really too much of a football person, so I do not even know which countries are there. Probably Italy, but I think Italy didn't make it into the World Cup, right? I don't know. Mexico, maybe? Some South American country, perhaps. Not Brazil, though. Brazilians and Argentinians are natural enemies when it comes to football. Well, everyone and Brazilians are natural enemies when it comes to football because Brazilians are just so good, everybody else hates them. So it's good to see some more competition, but yeah, I don't know. If Mexico's there, maybe them. I'm not really sure if they made it though. Ah, Colombia. Colombia, I would like if they could win, for sure. Did they make it? Are Mexico there? Are Colombia there? I think they are, though, right? I think Colombia might be there. Italy took a stand and boycotted the World Cup. I only know about Italy, I think I know, about Italy not making it to the World Cup because it's so ironic that they crowned themselves the champions of the Euro Cup and then kind of don't make it from Europe into the World Cup, which is ironic, of course. But yeah, for the most part, I have no idea what teams are there and wouldn't really be able to choose a second team because of that. Nice defense for TaToH. Both these guys are going after the Castle Age, and so far, we have seen just military units trade. Hey, there we are! Mr. Yo got the wall up over here, stone wall even. So it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be a-okay. It's alright. You see? It was calculated. He was just trying to bait Mr. Yo's, actually TaToH's units into his base. Just to get a worse KD and artificially inflate TaToH's confidence over here. But, oh! No way! The sheep! Open the gate and now the scouts are coming in because he converted the sheep while he was coming in. Now this gate is going to remain open, so now the archers are coming in. My lord, this is a lot of damage coming up over here, potentially from TaToH. That was an interesting moment in the game for sure. And the archers are coming in, the scouts coming in. Sure, Mr. Yo will be in the castle age very soon. We'll be able to go for knights, but man, this is still tragic. It resulted in a few losses. Viviste en Venezuela, Dan. ¿Cuánto tiempo? Pretty curious. Second 30C coming out for Mr. Yo. Slack the time. Well, he doesn't really have enough to go for a castle yet. If he hadn't gone for the TCs, sure, but yeah, now it's still a little bit of a struggle for him. Just extra TCs to protect himself. The sheep are still keeping the gate open though, even if they got converted back. Mr. Yo is not pulling the sheep away, so yeah, just come in. Well, that is not a good engagement for TaToH, I'll tell you that much, but Mr. Yo doesn't seem to be paying too much attention over there. Yeah, and it seems like TaToH will end up getting cleaned up, right? And Mr. Yo, he brought the sheep back. Well done. The blue player instead, he's got a second TC on the way. No third TC just yet. Okay, never mind. He's got the third TC on the way already. Nice. And Mr. Yo's collecting stones still. Could go for a 4th TC. Could go for a castle. Honestly, given the fact that he's already completely stone-walled, I would probably like a 4th TC for him. And I think a 4th TC probably around this area would be pretty good. Yeah, probably over here right in front so that he can collect from it. Or something like this. So he can collect from it, protect it. So if the blue player manages to breach through over here and puts pressure, red player will still be able to collect from here. Close enough. See Trisha coming out for TaToH, so he will be putting pressure from this side. And then for the rest, for the most part, he'll most likely end up just getting pushed away from inside the walls, from inside Mr. Yo's base. TaToH knows about the TC now. Yes, he knows he's picked the right angle to start pushing from. Here we are, wheelbarrows now on the way from Mr. Yo too. What are predictions looking like for this game? It's going to be a long one, no matter what. Or most likely, going to be a long one. One goes down. Yeah, I'm not really sure why Mr. Yo would try to go for that conversion over there. He was just trying to go after the relic and he just happened to run into the scouts, I assume, but the man's over here, that's very, very good pressure. There we go. The archer range is down. And here come the camels, the scouts, everything from TaToH. Archers, not so much though. This got an armor elephant and he's gonna start putting pressure. He's going after the siege workshop first, makes sense. Could potentially just go over the right hand side, try to still capitalize on the hill and take the TC down, but if he can take the siege workshop down, then he prevents Mr. Yo from getting any defensive units up. And there we go. Siege workshop goes down. You needed the castle in the worst way. 2 TCs, castle, Obu. Because we know to keep up with economy because of going for full TCs over here, but it's come at the cost of military, of course, so far. The kid is looking better for TaToH. He's got a stronger military count currently. By taking the siege workshop down over here, TaToH will also be able to keep on putting pressure against the TC after he goes for an extra mantle. He's got the mantle already on the way. And then on the left hand side, TaToH's got his own 4th TC coming up.
Jakieś rozkazania? Do waszych usług. Owszem.
Beautiful. Stable crumbles. Mr. is trying to mass the pikeman. And TaToH, he's going for more mangonels. If he's just going to stick to camels, then Mr. Yo's counter over here is going to come in perfectly. But TaToH should realize about the pikeman over here. Should be going for something else. If he's going to be banking on monks alone, that's not going to cut it, obviously. And now he's going to go for the crossbow upgrade. So he's going to transition into crossbows. So it's going to be camels and crossbows. Spikeman for the most part. Now the mangonel trade over here is looking pretty even, and in the end it's going to be a 1-for-1. Not quite. TaToH loses a mangonel. Mr. Yo holds on to his defensive position in a very, very good way, and he repairs this one as well. So he's got 2 mangonels out, while TaToH's got only 1 mangonel. Mr. Yo is looking strong. He's got chain mail armor coming out. TaToH's got the crosses on the way, but he's got a single archer range, I think. Oh, come on. He's going only now for the second archer. That's gonna take such a long time for him to mass a good amount of crosses. And you know what? You know what? Mr. Yo's got a castle on the way on top of the hill in front of his DC. And it's actually the second location he decided for. He was going for the castle a little bit closer to the TC, and now he'll end up getting the castle on top of the hill, preventing TaToH from pushing any further. And if you take a look at resources, both TaToH and Mr. Yo seem like they'll go up to the Imperial Age very, very soon. Why not 4 castle into Chakram? I don't think he had enough military to protect the villagers for going for a 4 castle. Unless they went around the left-hand side, but even then it would be risky because he doesn't really know what's there. But Imperial is on the way from Mr. Yo is actually going up a little bit sooner compared to TaToH, who's got a few extra villagers queued up already, so that's eaten into his food reserves. But even without removing the villagers from the queue, if he just uses the market, he should be on his way to the Imperial Age. He's got a lot of extra gold, and he's got the market, yes. It's just taking some time. Fantastic. Monastery going down very soon, and now TaToH's going for a defensive castle himself in front of his base on the right hand side. There we go. Fantastic. Here we are, the castle's up. So far, Mr. Yo's been able to hold on just fine. He's got a second castle on the way up in the north as well, and Mr. Yo's position over here should be just fine, right? He's got the stone walls protecting up in the north, the stone walls protecting down the south over here. He was sending some units over the left-hand side. A monk over there managed to get a conversion, but he gets taken down anyway. I'm not really sure if he was fishing for a relic. At this point in time, we have 2 relics for Mr. Yo and 1 for TaToH. And let's take a look as the red player gets to the Imperial Age. What do we get? Not much of anything. He's got conscription on the way, and for the most part, he only had pikemen, so he cannot really go for much in terms of upgrades. He can go for halberdier, obviously, but for 10 pikemen, it's not really worth it, and he's not really been going for obuch too much. So instead, we see trebuchets, and he's gonna try to tread this castle down. Now that he's got vision of it, he needs something against the obuch, though. He needs something against the chakram throwers, though. So the obuch seem like they are not going to be sufficient because the chakram throwers being range melee. So Mr. is gonna start going for, yeah, cavalier instead. Go, Siege Workshop's going down. Now the trebuchets. Moving forward, Mr. Yo's got Cavalier, Chain Bar, and Armor. Let me see if he's gotten Schlacht the privileges already. He's gotten it already, so he's gearing up to unleash the swarm of Cavalier. With 5 stables over here, shouldn't be too difficult to get a good amount of units going. We need to get a few extra if he wants to fully spam the crap out of those units. So, well, TaToH's just banking on check on throwers, which will absolutely die to Cavalier. Yeah. And TaToH had gone for crossbows, made just a few. This is very similar to what we saw for Nikov in the previous series on that arena game. Now it's going to be TaToH, the one kind of struggling to put his finger on what exactly to go for. And now Mr. Yo's got a 3rd castle on the way. So here come the Cavalier. He's got Chain Bar and Armor, so only missing Blast Furnace, but he's going for it. For the rest, he's got all the upgrades. Bloodlines already here. Husbandry is already here. And here he comes. Marching straight ahead. Needs move forward? Yes, he does. 44 foot workers will not suffice over here. He's not going for any more though. For the time being, he's got a good amount of units coming up. He can get the chunk of population and prevent taking too many losses too quickly. Might be able to sustain production with this current economy, even if it's not ideal. Here we are, the castle crumbles from TaToH. He's got 3 left over here. 2 actually, yeah, the 3rd one on the way on the left-hand side, playing full defense. Meanwhile, up in the north, we see a Siege Workshop coming in from Mr. Yo. He's gonna start putting pressure up there as well. He's got petards on the way, although the petards are coming up from the right-hand side by the looks of it, so that he can just bust through the walls and come in. TaToH, just going for a heavy camel rider. That's a lot of check on throwers, though. The problem is, what does he do against the Cavalier when the chakram throwers are taking so much population space and he cannot even go for full camel production? He's got only 14 heavy camels. Meanwhile, Mr. Yo's got 36 Cavalier. I keep on going for more, of course. Now we see the Hittic Legacy coming out from Mr. Yo, as well as the light cavalry upgrade. And siege engineers. So we'll see bombard cannons. Yes. Let's take a look. There's a big engagement coming out. Now the Cavalier over there are trying to bait those camels into the pikemen. And that is not the engagement you want to take. It's the other way around. Fight the camels with pikemen and the chakram throwers with Cavalier. But now in the end, he ends up losing a lot of these units. It gets completely cleaned up. And that was an atrocious engagement for Mr. Yo. He went head-on against chakram throwers with pikemen and head-on against camels over there with Cavalier. And I think it was banking on the numbers to be enough. And it might have been enough if he had been able to get a proper surround over there. But the chakram throwers, when they are packed, they are just so deadly. They're just so deadly. The pikemen went down extremely quickly, and the chakram throwers were still left to put a lot of damage against the Cavalier. Yeah, that went well, right? And now he doesn't really have the resources to go for full Cavalier once again, so he's just going for Wing Hussar. Why is there a random D? A random D? What do you mean? Yeah, these chakram throwers are just so strong, man. They're just so strong. These are properly upgraded too. He's got already iron casting. He's got the lead chakram throwers. And up in the north, we saw Mr. Yo a while ago start going for the siege workshop, but it's only going to be now that he's actually making use of it to go for a few cat ram. Tremor Crane coming up from Mr. Yo. He wants to get the buildings up ASAP. barracks on the way, so Mysterio fails to push from the south. He's gonna try and make the push from the north. What's the attack for these, the chakram throwers? 6 plus 2. You cannot get blast furnace, otherwise that'll be 6 plus 4. But the thing about these units is, and that's why you want to mass them up, they can all attack at the same time. If you have, for instance, champions which are much higher attack, they can only the front line can attack at a time. While the chakram throwers, they can all attack at the same time because of the range. It's 6 range. It's actually pretty high for a ranged melee unit. It's actually pretty high. You compare that to throwing axemen, for instance. Even the better warriors, I think they are a little bit lower than that. I think they are 5, right? And TaToH. TaToH's got frontier guards coming in. Yes. Frontier guards coming up for him, right? That's the Imperial Age upgrade. That's going to give elephant archers or elephant and camel units plus 4 melee armor. Does he have camels? Yes. Where are the camels though? Let's get them over here. And just like that, plus 7 melee armor as well. They look cool too. They do. Them frisbee throwing boys are a fantastic unit. Right hand side. Here they march on though, taking on everything as the castles already crumble from Mysterio, and TaToH's trebuchets keep on putting more and more pressure. CF4 castle coming out for TaToH down the south, and then on the left hand side, Mysterio manages to clean up the units over here from TaToH for the most part. We have a triple layer wall over here, which is keeping TaToH kind of safe for the time being. It's not ideal, and he is losing some villages over here trying to get the walls up, but TaToH surviving for the time being. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, oh, he canceled the castle. He's going to go for a further forward one. Damn. Yeah, given the fact that he had already finished researching frontier guards, I was expecting TaToH's engagement on the left-hand side to be so much better, but it wasn't. And then over here, though, the chakram boys doing work. This castle's on the way now. We have a single villager over here, though, I think. We have 5 total. Only 1 villager is going to start building the castle. And TaToH's bringing the trebuchet, so he's going to try and push it on the right-hand side. Seems like it might end up turning into a base trade. With the difference, though, that Mysterio, he doesn't have anywhere near as much siege to push with compared to TaToH, or at the very least, it doesn't seem like it's going to be anywhere near as effective. While TaToH's got 4 trebuchets over here to work with. That's going to take the castles down. It's going to shred everything. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, Mysterio's got about 4 sea trams, only 1 of which is targeting the castle, and then a few bombard cannons. So this actually kind of seems comparable, right? 4 bombard cannons. Never mind, it's kind of comparable. Mysterio pushes from the left-hand side, and TaToH pushes from the right-hand side. It's going to be a base trade. Here we are. It's a lot of villages coming over from Mysterio over here to try and get extra walls up. Cebatero, mi hermano. Muchas gracias. Thanks so much for the raid. It's very much appreciated. And bienvenidos, everyone. I hope you had a great stream. And I hope you guys enjoyed that one as well. We are watching game number 4, Mysterio versus TaToH, for the decider set of Warlords. Which means that whoever loses over here gets knocked out of the tournament, and whoever wins over here moves on to the quarterfinals. Now we have 45 walls already for Mysterio. So he's gonna be able to hold on over here. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, he still has some units to put pressure with, but not too many. So he's being extremely careful over here not to go and take an unfavorable engagement against those extremely strong camels with frontier guards already. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, it is TaToH, the one with momentum. Should be in a pretty good spot. And thank you once again for the raid so much. I hope it was a good one, and everybody coming into the stream, welcome you guys once again, those coming into the stream for the first time, dropping a follow, it's appreciated, and I hope you enjoyed. There's a lot still left to cover. This is just the 3rd out of 4 series for today. There we go. Mr. is still trying to hold on over here, struggling for population though. On the left hand side, we'll see the pikeman coming over. We're gonna have the wing hussar over here as well. He needs to bring the pikeman forward and the wing hussar against the chakram throwers, but it doesn't seem like he's gonna be able to do it. Not well enough, so these units will get cleaned up. And Mr. is pushing the left hand side, is gone. On the right hand side, instead, TaToH's momentum continues. The blue player's not running out of steam anytime soon. So, if he can keep the walls open over here, and it seems like he's going to struggle a little bit for that, but if he can open the walls up once again, still has 2 trebuchets to do that with. He should be coming in, swarming. The base of Mr. Yo has got a lot of buildings on the way. Stables, siege workshops. TaToH will be in a position to keep on going for more bombard cannons from forward. He'll be able to go for more camels forward as well. And these are heavy camels with frontier guards, 7 melee armor. Super strong. Remember, they train faster as well. 25% faster. Oh, and beautiful defense though. And Mr. is able to get the trebuchet down, and now he's gonna be able to take this one down by the looks of it. In the end, TaToH pulls the trebuchet away, but it seems like it might go down. That was a close shot, but it does not matter though. The trebuchet has already accomplished what it needed to do, opening this up. And the units are streaming in from TaToH as he keeps production going. Now he's going to make a transition to Hussar. Keeps on going for chakram throwers as well. He's got a defender on the left hand side while Mr. is trying to get the push going over here while still trying to keep momentum on the right hand side. This can turn into a stronghold. This can become a stagnant game, so it's very important for TaToH to balance his military properly so that he can keep on putting pressure over here. And the chakram throwers are an absolutely instrumental unit to keep on attacking with, because Mr. Yo is just going to defend himself with pikemen, which will work against will work against Hazal, will work against camel riders, but will absolutely not work against the Frisbee boys. Captain America's of Age of Empires. And he's got momentum. He's got momentum still. Nice. I would argue about setting the waypoint, or actually the gather point, a little bit further forward beyond the walls. Meanwhile, on the left hand side, Mr. Yo, he still has some units over here. He's got C-Tram. There's not a unit to sneeze at for sure. Some pikemen, the winged hussar, so he can keep on trying to put pressure on the left, but it seems like TaToH should be able to hold on just fine, right? With enough chakram throwers over here, he'll be able to hold on against Hussar, pikemen, and siege all on their own without a meat shield even. So I feel like TaToH's maybe's got a few too many units on the left hand side. I would say that would be the case if Mr. Yo wasn't a comparable amount of population, but because TaToH's got a 50 or so population lead, or 45 or so population lead against Mr. Yo, it doesn't matter because he's got more units on the right and on the left hand side. So this is looking very much over. I will agree. I will agree. Which means, guys, if TaToH is able to secure the dub here, game number 4 would go in favor of the Spaniard and would secure a full game series for us to enjoy. Game number 5 coming up very soon, and we know what map that's going to be if we have a 5th game. Do you remember what map that's going to be? I don't actually. So if somebody could let me know, that'd be appreciated. But yeah, I guess you can probably do hashtag draft, perhaps. But yeah, anyway. Beautiful.
Jakieś rozkazania?
Well, Mr. Yo's pushing TaToH away from the right hand side, and TaToH starts to struggle for population himself too. It seems as if he was so close from clutching it up and sealing the deal already on the right hand side, but now Mr. Yo is starting to push back. Damn. Arena? Let me check. If this one goes in favor of TaToH, then game number 5 will take place on Socotra! Mr. Yo's home map! I had completely forgotten about it. Seems interesting for Mr. Yo to go for Pulse over here, but we saw already that Socotra is pretty difficult to make an aggressive civilization work because of how many extra villages you begin with and how much harder it is to make the game messier earlier on. Yeah, we had arena, so beautiful. TaToH gets some momentum on the left hand side, and Mr. Yo pushing TaToH away from the right hand side. Got a little bit momentum over here, but he's still going to keep on struggling. TaToH's on 77 food workers, so he should be able to go for as many Hazara as he sees fit, while Mr. Yo is on 60 farmers right now, and is not really going to be able to keep up. Now he's playing Pulse, yes. So that's going to compensate for about 10% or so of the economy, right? So I guess that kind of closes the gap a little bit, but I would say that TaToH is still significantly stronger in this position. It's insane how Yo goes from 30 pot disadvantage to completely even almost. Yeah. And now, TaToH's coming in through the right hand side. But Mr. Yo's coming in through the left hand side, and he's been going for Cavalier. Schlag the privileges Cavalier, extremely cheap for gold. We'll clean up the throwing the check and throwers over here. Let's call them throwing axemen. The check and throwers, and well, Tripler's getting some momentum. You know, if he just goes straight to the back, to the soft underbelly of TaToH's economy, he might be able to get some villager picks over here and prevent TaToH from going for any extra Hazard, or going for too many extra Hazard in any case. On the right hand side, TaToH's going for not necessarily a comparable push, but the check and throwers over here are still just so good. They provide so much more value to TaToH's army on the right hand side. And population still higher for TaToH, but only by about 20 or so. Yeah, and in the end, Mr. Yo couldn't really do anything with it. What happened to the Cavalier? Wait, where are the Cavalier? Did he break them back? I think he brought them back. No, he sent the Cavalier forward, but because of the lack of plate bargain armor, they ended up getting cleaned up for the most part. I guess Yo's hoping to drag it out until TaToH runs out of gold, and both players will be running out of gold very soon. The only gold available, I think, is this one on the right hand side. That was technically Mr. Yo's, but TaToH ended up pushing him away from it. It's only going to have about 1,000 gold left in it, so not the greatest. Here we go. And I said the game was pretty long before in that Baltic game from MBL said, well, I guess I stand corrected. This is a long game. We're already way past that. Way past the 1 hour mark. 1 hour and 6 minutes into it. Because both players seem like they are going to be completely out of gold. And what do we have left then? Just full on trash from both these guys, right? Yes. Most likely than not. Very good defense for Mr. Yo. This guy on the military lead right now. Forward gold. Perhaps. Here we are. And yeah, Mr. is the only player collecting gold right now. So he ended up pushing TaToH away. Such a power tug here. Mining camps going down from TaToH. Mr. Yo will end up finishing collecting this gold. It's only going to be about 800 left. Well, that'll be about it. Mr. Yo kind of gets pushed back over here on the left-hand side, but it doesn't really matter too much, does it? One thing we're noting though is that Mysterio's got a single castle left, while TaToH's got 3 castles left still, which means that it's going to be much harder for Mysterio, even if he gets momentum over here, to get any damage done around TaToH's base. And he will need to take care of the fortifications before he's actually able to get access to the economy from TaToH. Well, Mysterio, on the other hand, has got only 1 castle over here in the middle of nowhere. Arguably, is not really protecting too much. So TaToH gets a good amount of Hussar straight into the back of Mysterio's economy. Mysterio is going to be in for a much rougher ride. For a much bumpier ride. Here come the winged Hussar though. 9 queued up right now from Mysterio. He's got a bombard cannon on the way, 2 siege rams to work with. All of this on the left hand side, as he's already stabilized on the right. Still has some gold left over here. There we go. This is winged Hussar from Pulse against standard Hussar from TaToH. Without Blast Furnace. Don't really have any more Frisbee boys over here for TaToH. At the very least, not a significant amount, only about 13. So Yo's late game should be pretty strong. The full work economy will allow him to go for so many winged Hussar over here. They're going to be stronger compared to TaToH. Well, I mean, technically, the lack of plate bar and armor over here kind of offsets for a little bit. You know, for the lack of Blast Furnace for TaToH, but it's still going to be 2 attack that he's missing versus only 1 melee armor that Mysterio is missing. So Mysterio's units would still be stronger if they had the same stats, but of course winged Hussar are actually stronger in terms of stats. So Mysterio should be, no matter how you slice it, at a huge advantage over here when it comes down to full trash war. Finally, it seems to me that gold's going to run out for Mysterio, as we have a big engagement coming up on the left-hand side. Seems to be favoring TaToH, as he's got some check on thrower still. But then on the right-hand side, how much gold do we have left over here? Only about 100 left, so that gold is getting completely wiped out. And then it's going to come down to winged Hussar versus Hussar. Pikemen from Mysterio and TaToH. Not really going for much of anything else, just standard Hussar. This is amazing. How did you know how tight? You know, it's just the Chinese players, man. They are just so strong over here in these situations. They are just so resilient as well. You have an MBL, you can call him a cockroach, a tardigrade, if you want. Then the Asian players are just going to be a Friday for them, you know. Thursday, it's just another day. It's just how they go. So yeah. Mysterio effectively has run out of gold and has gold income from the relics. We're gonna see gold income from the relics for TaToH as well. Pretty comparable, both players on about 2 relics each, right? Now Mysterio is going for dogs over here to push TaToH away from the wood over here. This could actually work out, you know, because he's putting pressure from the right hand side. If he can push the villagers away from wood over here, and then from the left hand side, if he can push the villagers away from wood, eventually TaToH would run out of wood after he refreshes enough farms. So yeah, we see a Galleon. Actually, Galleon is going to be coming up now. He's just gotten the War Galley upgrade, so it's going to be Galleon coming up very soon. And Mysterio is single-handedly playing a kind of swarmy game over here. Do you remember from ECL, guys? I always bring this up, but that was the first game I ever saw players actually take advantage of the center lake, and now this is going to be the second game I think I ever see somebody actually taking advantage of the center water over here quite effectively as well to push the villagers away from wood over here. And Mysterio keeps on going for more and more winged Hussar. He should be able to hold on against the standard Hussar from TaToH, even against the check on throwers. And TaToH's in a little bit of an awkward spot. Check his economy. TaToH is suffering. He's got a lot of units queued up, yes, but he's got less than 2,000 resources in the bank. Actually, what Mysterio's got thousands upon thousands of resources. You know, it's a long game when you have dogs in the center. Yeah, and also, I am only a few minutes away from the ad cooldown from running out on Twitch and then playing an ad automatically and without me being able to do much of anything. So I'm hoping this is not going to go on for too much longer. Toronto population for both guys still an hour and 17 minutes. Doesn't seem like it's going to be over anytime soon. 57 Wind Hussar queued up for Mr. Yo. 30 Hussar queued up for TaToH. Can anybody find a better definition of a stalemate? Is it worthy investment? I think it is. I think it is. TaToH had to migrate his wood economy elsewhere. And yeah, we still have the Wind Hussar coming over. So if they can push these lumberjacks away from the left and right hand sides, basically TaToH's out of wood. And you saw earlier already how quickly the wood runs out for TaToH. I'll have to watch the last set tomorrow, most likely, and I would imagine most people as well. 4 games or 4 sets in a row in a single day was never really going to finish particularly early unless we had like 4 pretty one-sided sets. And this game right here, I think it's making up for some of the less than full series from before. You know? This is already gonna be worth about 3 games. In 10 minutes, this game alone is gonna be worth about 3 games of gameplay time, so I guess that's going to compensate already for some of the previous sets. And yeah, you know, we are 7 hours and 14 minutes into the stream and we still have 1 more game to go for if TaToH gets away with this one. Mr. Yo, Mr. Yo's got momentum though. He should have a stronger late game though. So if Mr. Yo ends up taking this one, I guess it's gonna be worth like 2 games for this one, and we could consider it like a full set in terms of gameplay time. We're gonna be jumping into the 4th set just in time to make this at about 10-hour stream or so. He has resources for the silent game already. Indeed, he can start on deathmatch already. In TaToH, not even close. Not even close. Maybe Empire Wars. Beautiful. Does you have onagers cut through the center? I think they do, yeah. Don't they? Let me take a look. I don't think I have seen them go for that before, but they should. Yeah. Yeah, he's got it. He's just not gone for it, and he doesn't really have... I mean, he's got the resources to go for it now. I don't know if I would want to use the gold for that specifically, given that he already has access to TaToH's economy. This is only accelerated a little bit. Cannon Galleon on the way now for Mr. Yo. Okay. Well, that's going to have extra range. A Cannon Galleon comes in at 12 range. Elite Cannon Galleon comes in at 15 range. So if we take a look at this guy... Okay, there we go. We had the Cannon Galleon come out. We don't need to do the math. Or we don't need to do the range manually. But you can see that he's already going to start targeting the villagers over here. Doesn't really seem like it's going to make too much of a difference though. He still won't be able to prevent TaToH from collecting wood further to the left. Looks like 3-1 Mr. Yo. It should be the case. He's got poles, he's got Wind Hussar, an insane late game for when the goal is out. And check this out though, as TaToH struggling to hold on, struggling to push up in the north. He's getting pushed down the south over here. And a little bit of a quick wall coming out for TaToH. It's cute at this stage to try and quick wall the units. I mean, it's wide open, right? So Mr. is going right after the lumberjacks, and this is what I wanted to see. With TaToH running out of wood over here without being able to keep on collecting wood. He's gonna be running out of wood very soon. That's going to put it in a very awkward spot. Meanwhile, Mr. Yo doesn't really need to worry about this too much. He's got to hold on long enough that he can go and punish TaToH. Because TaToH, on the other hand, is so far from getting to Mysterio's base. So Mysterio still has a castle over here, providing protection. If he loses the castle, there's still a long way for TaToH to get inside Mysterio's base, as he's got to take the stone walls down, and these are fortified walls as well. And Mysterio is already inside. He's just made a home out of TaToH's base. And the Winged Hussar are just coming in for the party. They're just coming in to have fun. Yeah, you see? TaToH. Gonna collect from there. It's gonna start collecting from further up in the north instead, and then on the left hand side. He's got some lumberjacks over here still, but this is eventually going to run out, of course. You do not really want to collect from the outskirts. You want to collect from the center. Maybe I missed it, but does Yo have the hit deck? Yes, he does. So it's fully upgraded Winged Hussar with Lehitic Legacy as well, which means he gets splash damage from these. He gets AoE damage on the Winged Hussar, and they are already stronger as is. So Mysterio's units are fantastic. There we are, Mysterio's going straight for the wool lane again. TaToH is nowhere to be found, at the very least not here. He's got the lumberjacks over there, but those are not even the most lumberjacks TaToH's got. He's got so many on the back over here as well. Remember when we thought the game was over, when TaToH got in at the south 20 minutes ago? 20 minutes ago? I don't know, I feel like we thought the game was over. Since 40 minutes ago, probably even more. Man, this has been such a long game. What a show! What a spectacle! What a privilege watching these games. I always think that to myself. What a privilege getting these extremely high level games to enjoy for free, you know, anywhere you are in the world. What a time to be alive, as 2 Minute Papers would say. A lot of us are coming over from TaToH, doesn't matter. Most likely not. Eventually the Winged Hussar from Mysterio will clean this up. So definitely the blue player is the one on the back foot. And the game's still on, yes sir. But I dare say not for much longer. Because we have the C-Trams coming over now, in addition to the Winged Hussar. Mysterio is finally getting some siege push going. It's finally going to end up taking the fortifications down from TaToH, and this is what I was talking about earlier. It is harder for Mysterio to get damage if he gets inside TaToH's base because of all the fortifications, while if TaToH gets to Mysterio's base, this is all up for grabs. But TaToH's never been able to get there. Kind of makes me wonder, would it have been worth it for TaToH to potentially pursue undercut and get into the other side? But I guess by the time Mysterio already revealed the navy over here, it was kind of irrelevant already, right? He wasn't going to be able to get in anyway. Regardless though, here goes the castle. Bow! Next castle, right on target from the C-Trams as they keep on marching forward. There will be a meat shield over here, but a meat shield to what? There is nothing from Mysterio. He's struggling with military balance over here. He needs to keep a good amount of Winged Hussar still coming from the south over here. And he's got right now a lot up in the north, not too much down the south, so he ends up losing the C-Tram. But he managed to get one castle down. I guess if he can go for a few extra pushes kind of like that, that'll put him still in a pretty good spot. Beautiful. Here we are. Here we are. TaToH's trying to go in. That was so close. He almost manages to come in right away. And because of what we discussed earlier, that could have been actually pretty bad for Mr. Yo. In the end, he was going to end up clearing out the Wing Hussar for sure, but he could have taken a few losses over there. The tournament has seen far more intense and close matches. Well, I think some of that is also because of the maps that are available in the map, alright? We have several maps that kind of, you know, encourage longer games or kind of favor longer games. Such as this one, for instance, which usually wouldn't be a map available in the map pool of a tournament from MEMB. But I'm glad that it is. I like to see the variety. And then we have Arena, we have Black Forest. Come on, 1v1 Black Forest. It's going to lend itself to longer games, right? How much wool left in the map? Plenty. Plenty of wool left in the map still. By the way, very soon, Yo is going to overchop over here. He's gotta be careful. He's gonna send these fellas over to the center instead. Here we are. And the siege rounds are over here still. Well, not getting cleaned up. TaToH. TaToH starting to shake up a little bit, starting to show cracks in the armor. Take a look at the amount of Hussar we have from TaToH, and take a look at the amount of Hussar he's got queued up. Now take a look at the queue, the Winged Hussar queue from Mr. Yo, and tell me what you see. Mr. Yo's in a much better position. Should be anyway. Should be able to sustain this military production for a lot longer compared to TaToH. The Warlords is going to incentivize that. Warlords is going to make it so much straightforward for Mr. Yo to keep on going for these units, and no wonder on 125. Hussar queued up over here. The red player will be the one. Last standing player between the two of these. A little bit more food for Mr. Yo. What are you talking about? He's got 113 food, and TaToH's got 1,300. It's quite clearly better for TaToH. Mr. Yo is barely able to get past 120 food, so I know what you're talking about. I know that TaToH still has the sheep in the mill. Well, that's gotta help a little bit, but at this point it's kind of peanuts. He's got 19 Hussar queued up only. He tries to go for a few more. 30 Hussar queued up. And Mr. Yo, I mean, I'm not really sure if he can actually queue anymore. How many stables do we have for Mr. Yo? He's got 17 stables, so I guess technically he could go for up to, what is that, 15 a pop, right? So that's going to be 255 scouts he can queue at any given point in time. He doesn't really want to queue from all the stables though, because many of these are going to be back home, for instance, I would imagine. Yeah, like this one, he doesn't really care. Oh, he is actually queuing from all of them. Okay. I think I can actually max the queue from all the stables. With 136 food that he's got right now, yes. No maths in stream? I know, those were quick maths, so I think I might have been completely off. Is there any goal left in the map? There is no goal left in the map for the last 50 minutes? An hour? I forgot when Mr. Yo ran out of gold over here. Might have been around the 1 hour mark, so it's been about 40 minutes of gold free gameplay over here. Quick maths. Let's go!
Offset.
You can set up a safe trade route, like the usual politics. Just a truce, right? Just keep on the trade going while they kill each other elsewhere. Seems about right. Man, TaToH, it's incredible that he's able to keep up over here still. 30 Hazard queued out, Mr. Yo. So much more. Not muted, by the way. Just enjoying a fresh smoothie. A fresh smoothie in this hellish day. Six minutes left, guys. If the game's not over in 6.5 minutes, Twitch is going to play an ad automatically, and there's nothing I can do about it. I've already used all my snoozes. Here we go. TaToH's coming in. He's managed to group up a good amount of check and throwers once again. And we saw these guys were extremely strong in the past already. We have about 31 right now. Elite, fully upgraded check and throwers. And Mr. Yo, just win Hazard, baby. Does it matter? Probably not. 88 win Hazard queued up, so it's never going to be cost effective for TaToH. That is the thing. It's never going to be cost effective for TaToH as Mr. Yo goes up to 200 food. TaToH 500. Let's take a look at this. It seems like TaToH managed to sneak a few Hazard. Now that is good. That is good. He's taking us on with the lumberjacks from Mr. Yo. But is this any better for TaToH actually though? Because it's freeing up space. Now Mr. Yo is gonna get 100 population space for military. I don't think that was actually a good thing. Mr. Yo's got thousands of resources in the bank, so he can run out of farms right now, and he's gonna be fine. He can run out of wood right now. He can run out of lumberjacks rather, and he's still going to be fine. He's gonna have plenty of time to catch back up. So I think TaToH actually ended up doing a disservice to himself over there, freeing up space, and now Mr. Yo is on 100 freaking military. What is this? 99? With a lot of extra units coming up, as Mr. Yo ended up even deleting some of the villagers, I think. Yeah. All of a sudden, Mr. Yo. Can we see the magic number? Come on. Do not lose any units before getting to 100, please. He's ruining it. Come on, man. Get to 100 already. Oh. Nah. He cannot get there yet. When you say it's never going to be cost effective, but I don't know if TaToH lost a single check and thrower over there. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Like, even if he loses one at a time, Mr. Yo's got resources to go for Wing Hazard forever, right? Deathmatch World Cup has been fun. It has been, hasn't it? And there we are, 100 military for Mr. Yo, going even a little bit higher than that. Just a moment ago, and TaToH. TaToH, of course, does not have anywhere near as much population, so here comes Mr. Yo. TaToH gets the quick walls up over here to prevent the Hazard from just going straight to his back economy. That is a lot of exposed economy over here. He tried to force those units into the castle. And you know, TaToH's gotta feel it over here. He's gotta feel the game is very much favoring Mr. Yo. But it's gonna keep on going. He's got the score lead. Even if he's the player who's kind of cornered right now. He's got the score lead. A lot of that's going to be due to the KD, in my opinion. Yeah, and Mr. Yo, he definitely wants to actually use the military units. Come on. There you go. Still about 30 check and throwers left over here. 38 total. Not all of these are grouped up. And where are the extra Hazard from Mr. Yo. He's sending them. Now TaToH has 120 plus queued up. Yes! Yes, he does. And Mr. Yo, 225. Two minutes. And Twitch is going to play the commercial automatically. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're not going to be affected, of course. But take a look at that though. The checkroom throwers are completely exposed. The wind is over here. Will end up taking the boys down. The frisbee boys down. Oh, this was sustained in TaToH's position so much better. Take a look at the population from TaToH though. 160. He's got 100 Hazard queued up. Yes. But Mr. Yo, he's starting to snowball this one. Is this finally going to be the straw that broke TaToH's back? He's getting plenty of time to get extra units out though. Mr. Yo is not punishing this. And TaToH, just in the blink of an eye, gets a 200 population again. And my lord, this game is going to go on forever. $200 queued Hazard versus 200 queued. Wait, what? We had 204 queued Hazard for Mr. Yo, yes. 36 for TaToH. The siege tower, yeah, that would be doing too much right now, right? And there we go. TaToH's trying to get in. That is a beautiful. Actually, Mr. Yo is trying to get into TaToH's base, and that is a beautiful choke point over here. The frisbee boys actually managed to shred a good chunk of the Hazard over here for Mr. Yo. Guys, I'm gonna have to pause this over here, and I'm very sorry. But Twitch is going to play an ad automatically, so I'm just going to pause over here to make sure that nobody misses anything, and then we are going to go 2x to try and catch up, alright? Too many commercials, these are usually region-based. But there we go! Oh wow! They're just actually running 30 seconds of additional commercials over here. I thought if I played 30 seconds myself, it was going to be enough, but no, they want to run a full minute. Right. Well, nobody's really missing much of anything, right? There we go, still the same situation. Mr. Yo trying to get to the back of TaToH's base. Win Hazard, defending Hazards, defeating Hazards with wings. Did anyone even get him at that? That's a good question, actually. Let me know. Every time I warn people about the commercials, I don't even know if people get it. Yeah, still TaToH on the back foot for sure. Able to defend for the time being. But still on a lower military count. The subscribers are immune, yes. And then on the right hand side, hey, there we go. Finally, Mr. Yo finds an exposed area around TaToH's economy. Now, this makes a huge difference. This right here makes a huge difference. Why? Because TaToH does not have anywhere near enough resources to get by without workers. Well, Mr. Yo can lose a lot of villages over here. He can lose a lot of the lumberjacks, and he doesn't care for it. He's got 3,000 wood. He's got 6,000 food still, 256. Win Hazard queued up. Meanwhile, TaToH's got 9 Hazard queued up, and he wants to believe, guys. He wants to believe, and TaToH wants to keep on going, but with only 9 units queued up and less than 1,000 resources left in the bank, it's certainly looking like it's going to be game over as TaToH's queue run out. Mr. Yo will end up taking game number 3. There is no question about it. 240. Winged Hussar still queued up, and TaToH's just holding to the air life over here by a thread. It won't be anywhere near strong enough. Mr. Yo 1C comes in. It's a lot of exposed economy over here still for TaToH. Ripe for taking. It's around 5 o'clock. Certainly seems like it's the case. Here we go, the Hussar coming forward. Mr. Yo, 120 military units almost. He's kind of getting raided over here, but there is so much to catch up. You know, TaToH is only now finally breaking into Mr. Yo's base. Yes, but Mr. Yo's been raiding around TaToH for best part of an hour already, so there's just too much for TaToH to catch up for over here against Mr. Yo. Thousands of resources. Thousands upon thousands of resources. I'm not sure Yo will win. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about not being sure? Because his RQ will run out soon? Alright, yes. You are correct. He's got 28 Hussar queued up. And 9 food left. Yo has no eco left. That a villager lead. This is over. Call the shots. Calling the shots right there. Yes, sir. And here come the extra wing Hussar up in the north from Mr. Yo. I wonder how much food Mr. Yo is able to get if he just stops queuing extra Hussar and just waits for the 250 or so that he's got to come out. If you take a look at the Eco KD, Mr. Yo has lost throughout the entire game. So after 2 hours, he's lost 2,100 units. And he's got 230 Hussar queued up. So you could potentially go for, you know, over here quite a lot. About 12 minutes at the very least. Without queuing a single unit before his unit runs out, his queue runs out. If we assume a somewhat even unit loss rate. But yeah, take a look at the minimap. Take a look at the minimap. TaToH is completely giving up on his economy to go forward. This is not the way to go. He's trying because it's not worked out for him so far. Nothing else has worked out. So he's going after Mr. Yo's economy. He's going to get it, but once again, with 210 units queued up, Mr. Yo will keep on going for more Hussar. Any units that he loses, any villagers he loses back home, will just open up more space for Mr. Yo to get more Hussar out. He's enjoying the population still. I don't think he really cares about losing villagers over here. Guys, the game is over. Mr. Yo is taking game number 3 over here. It's been such an amazing match. While it seemed at times as if TaToH was going to take this one, Mr. Yo is quite clearly dominating, going after the TCs with the Hussar, going after the castles with the Hussar, and even though he's being raided back home and he's losing population, he's replenishing that with more Hussar. He's at 115 units! 115 winged Hussar! How does TaToH ever hold on against that? Got 1 Hussar cube up! TaToH cannot go for it anymore! And he's gotta call the GG. There is no way back unless hell freezes over for TaToH into this one. So Mr. Yo will end up getting the series. We saw this one coming. The writing was on the wall. And it took a while to materialize. But there is officially no way back for TaToH over here. Simply does not have the means to keep on going. And Mr. Yo will end up the final score of 3-1. Yeah, and even Cavalier coming up right now for Mr. Yo as well. He's got 27 queued up, but he's got to wait for 142 Hussar to train before he actually gets to see the first Cavalier come up. So he would have probably benefited from going for extra tables and then kill the Cavalier from there. Would have been faster for sure. But yeah, 70 population, guys. The game is over. TaToH says it. He calls it. He taps out. GG, well played. Good luck next. The champion gets knocked out of the tournament while Mr. Yo moves on to the quarterfinals. Can't believe my eyes. TaToH coming in as the Age of Empires 2 champion after the previous S-tier tournament, the largest Age of Empires 2 tournament in history, doesn't make it into the quarterfinals for the next one. So Yo will get some bragging rights over here for sure. And going through the achievements right now, I don't really think we're gonna get too much out of this. 2-to-1 conversion rate. TaToH should have won this easy, right? 21 to 20 KD overall, favoring TaToH, doesn't really matter. Mr. Yo's economy was so much stronger. The units were pretty strong, effective as well. And that TaToH did a commendable job holding it over here for as long as he did, but the game was going to go in favor of Mr. Yo in this situation every time. Well done. Let's go back and let's see if we can check the interview.